to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake. And how do we start off this show on a happy
Hump Day
edition after still your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 6-2? Three things. You know them, you love them, you got to have them. Bring the passion, bring our excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. On tonight's show, we will have the return of Harry the Greek. And then after that, we will have TJ Rives, the media icon himself with the Buccaneers Radio Network.
Fire the cannon!
Absolutely.
Fire the cannon!
Absolutely. And we'll take your questions as always because we're headed into a bye week. And once again, thank God for that. Honestly, thank God. Because if there's anybody in the worst way that needs a bye week, and there we go. I feel like I'm kind of like discombobulated at this point, right? Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter, because I'm trying to share the show here on Facebook, and Facebook's doing some weird stuff right now. It's not letting me share it. So if you could, whomever is watching this right now, share it to all the sites that you can that love great Bucs content, because some reason Facebook is doing what Facebook always does, which is absolutely nothing.
That's good enough to suck right there!
Which really upsets me because it's like, what are we doing here? Are you going to be able to share? No, I can't share the show. Why can't you share the show? Nobody knows. There's crickets. But anyway, we'll get back to it, right? The Bucs are going into a bye week. They are banged up. It looks like Baker Mayfield has not only been dealing with a knee injury, but an oblique injury. So maybe this is the reason why the offense has struggled in the first place. Maybe that's the reason. Or maybe it's the fact that the offensive line is banged up. Or the wide receivers are banged up. Or the running game is banged up. And still, yet we sit here, and I continue to say this over and over again. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 6-2, sitting pretty, and you got to love it. You absolutely got to love it. So the trading deadline is coming up. We threw it out there to the other night to Bucs fans. Who would you like to see this team trade for? What position? There's been some rumors out there about a certain tight end, certain wide receivers, edge rushers, Aiden Hutchinson getting paid today. That may help the Bucs out. We'll explain that in just a little bit. But we'll just continue that. And I definitely want to hear what the Greek has to say when it comes to, should this Bucs team trade for a position? Should it be a middle linebacker? Should it be an edge rusher? Should it be a wide receiver? Or stand pat? Keep what you have in-house at this point. Because you look at the history of Jason Light doesn't make lots of trades. He doesn't do that. He doesn't make these big-time trades or big-time names like a lot of fans want them to do. But is this year different? The Bucs are 6-2 with all the injuries. They could be getting back a lot of these players that they've been missing, a.k.a. a Bucky Irving, a.k.a. a Chris Godwin Jr., a.k.a. a Jalen McMillan, a.k.a. Luke Gedeke. Thank God. So do you make a trade? 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Halloween is coming up. That's why I look like a pumpkin. No, because it's like the creamsicle, but it is in a couple days. So we'll throw this out there tonight. What's your favorite Halloween movie? What's your favorite Halloween candy? Let's do something fun. Let's engage with the webheads tonight. Let's engage with the Tampa Bay sports fan tonight here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, because they always say all you talk about is sports all the time. So let's talk about Halloween. Let's go ahead and go out to the phone lines here, because you ask for phone calls, you get phone calls. Let's go out to Corey. Corey, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television on a happy edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Once again, I can't say it enough. I keep on saying it over and over again, because breakfast tastes better. The job is definitely better. The money is better. And hell, if you have a significant other, most likely they're better too. The Bucs are 6-2. Welcome to the evolution.
Yes. Ain't nothing like victory.
It is victory. Of course it is. You know why? Because
okay,
that's
it's
Victory Wednesday. I don't care. I'll allow it. It's Victory Thursday, Victory Friday, Victory Week. It's just like your birthday. If your birthday's on Monday, it's all week. If your birthday's on Wednesday, it's all week. If your birthday's on the weekend, it better be all weekend and then all the next week also. So
yes, sir.
We allow that here.
Okay. How you doing, though, Peter?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm pumped up.
Man, hey, like you were saying, man, Light ain't gonna make no moves. We ride with what we got right now. He ain't gonna make no moves. Man.
No, you don't think so? No linebacker, no edge rusher, no nothing, huh?
He ain't gonna do nothing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do nothing, man. I mean, he might try to bring some boys up from the practice squad, or hopefully some of them injuries come back and they get better. You know what I mean? That's how he rock. He loves his draft picks, man. That's how he rock.
He definitely loves those draft picks. He definitely loves the second, the third round, the fourth round. I mean, you look at the success over the last couple of years here. Bucky Irving, Jalen McMillan come to mind, just a couple of mid-round draft picks that people would just kind of throw away. But Jason Light loves those type of picks. Yaya Diaby comes to mind also. So he's had a lot of success with getting those mid-round guys. So it would be difficult to acquire somebody. I know Bucs fans want to do it. You say they stand pat. If you were the general manager, would you make a trade? Is this the team?
Man, I was thinking I had one at Cosby, but I mean, all those dominant edge rushers, they want so much money, man. I mean, them contracts are ridiculous, man. They had one contract. They were looking at somebody. Well, he ain't going nowhere. They were saying that Myles Garrett, you'll be off the hook for like until 2028. To pay the rest of his contract, but
yeah, they ain't getting Myles Garrett. Whoever's putting that out there is full of
Because the Browns said you have a better chance at winning the lottery than they let him go.
Well, let him stay. Let him stay in Cleveland. Look, he had the opportunity to leave the Cleveland Browns if he wanted to, and all this nonsense of I want to trade, I want to go play for a winning team was all hogwash. All you wanted to do was get paid. So. Listen, once again, you made your bed. Enjoy the millions and millions of dollars that none of us are going to see, but you're going to play for a crappy team like the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, you know how that's how it goes, Peter. Some of them NFL boys, they just pay for the money, man. They don't care.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, they really don't care. They just want to get that bank in.
That's it. Get the bag, as I say.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got this bye week to heal up, and then hopefully some of them boys can come back. You heard any word of anybody coming back like Gedeke, maybe Bucky, or
well, I've heard that that's possibly the plan at this point, where you would get Luke Gedeke back, you would get Bucky Irving back, you would think that you would get Chris Godwin Jr. back after the bye week, and that's the good thing about it because you have a couple weeks to rest. What
about McMillan? McMillan should be coming back. What did they ever say his injury? I mean, he just hit his neck. Or
sprained neck. Was in a neck brace. There's talk of December that he could come back. So we'll see how that works. Because you don't never want to rush anything like that back, right?
Okay.
But that would be good to get those guys back, wouldn't it? It would definitely help your offense out. Would help your overall team out.
Right. So I'm looking at it like this. We should sweep the division, right?
You should, yes.
Yeah.
Although BA was on Pat McAfee yesterday, said that's BS. The Libra and him, he said it was BS because you still have 4 divisional games. He's right. You haven't locked anything up, but you would assume with the way this team has played through all the injuries in the second half that they would be able to recalibrate, if you will, and take care of business because Atlanta, who knows what Atlanta is? Who knows what Carolina is? We know what the Saints are. They're absolutely hot garbage. You like that? You like that hot dog water right there? The New Orleans Saints, because anytime you can do that, you got to love it. So, yeah, I don't know. We don't know what the other teams are. Haven't played them yet, but you played the Falcons. Falcons seem like they're going through some struggles right now. So, no telling how good
they should have fired Morris, man.
I think they are too. I definitely think they are. Somebody mentioned this the other night when they fired their wide receiving coach, who was a former Buck, Ike Hilliard.
He was a Gator too.
Yes, he was a Gator, and he was a very good one. And when you fire the coach, a wide receiving coach, and then you're not producing, and Eric, hold on a sec here, Eric Moreno, we'll take your call in just a moment, but when you fire the wide receiving coach and you don't have the results that you want on offense and you have a scapegoat, do players look at that? Because that's a former player. He definitely has the respect of that locker room. You kind of wonder what is really going on in that locker room at this point, what's really going on with that team, because all you heard in the offseason is how talented they were and how Michael Penix this, and Drake London, Bijan Robinson.
I'm going to tell you, Raheem Morris is a snake oil salesman. Raheem Morris is a snake oil salesman, man.
Right. Well,
he ain't no good head. He ain't never been no good head coach, man.
I just think it's too much at this point. I think he's over his head. I don't know what to say. It seems like they have the talent.
He could talk a cat off a fish truck.
Well, he's a good defensive play. He's a good defensive coordinator. But again, it always goes back to this, right? Just because you're a defensive coordinator, just because you're a good offensive coordinator, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to transition over to being a great head coach. There's a lot more to it. So there's a lot more responsibilities to it. So I don't know if it's going to work out with Raheem and the Atlanta Falcons. High expectations at this point, and it's not looking too good, especially when you do what you did against the Miami Dolphins. Tom, what do you think about the Miami Dolphins this year?
That's good enough to suck right there.
Well, Atlanta was even worse against the Miami Dolphins. So there you go.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna let the next callers come in, but like I feel like I don't think Jason go do nothing, man. The team we got is who we for the ride with. We took her to the dance. We got to dance with her all night.
Ride or die, baby. That's what it is. Fast and furious, ride and die. Right? I love that. Yep. All right, good stuff, sir. Corey. Use that second call if you want to, my friend. Thanks a lot for calling the Evolution. All right.
Look.
All right, man. Let's go out to Eric Moreno. Eric, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. How do you start off this show on a happy hump day edition, a Victory Wednesday edition? Go ahead, my friend.
Bring the passion, bring the excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, man.
Good.
Yeah. I think I think the Falcons are 3-4, so they got to go 5-5 just to go, 8-9 win. I don't think they'll even win 8 games. The Bucs can go 500 and still win 10-11 games. So
true.
Panthers.
There's a reason why you're in a great position at this point, being 6-2, right? It gives you some opportunity at this point.
Oh yeah.
So yes.
Saints are hot. I mean, Saints. I don't know if they'll even win 4 games, and that might be being nice.
Might be being nice, yeah. Okay, all right.
Panthers maybe 8-9, 9-8, but I mean, I got my friend got the Bucs at 11-6, so we got to go 4-4, or 5-4. So, some tough games coming up. So if they can go even if you go 1-2, 7-4, you just got to go 4-2, or so. Even 10-7 will win the division probably.
Well, there
Unless
you go.
the Falcons catch fire or the Panthers.
Well, you just never know, right? I mean, it's the second half of the year. It's early on still, but it's 8 games in, and you have to feel really good where the Bucs are at this point. So we talked about it. I don't know if you answered this question the other night or not, but would you make a trade if you're the Bucs at the deadline, and who would it be? What position would it be? Do you think the Bucs do it? First and foremost, do you think the Bucs make a trade at the deadline?
T-Crash was saying maybe we make a minor, like we get it. We got, when we lost Vita for 2 or 3 months, we got Steve McClendon, kind of a run stop in big guy, can he's not Vita, but he's.
It worked out, didn't it? It worked out. Definitely helped. Yeah. Can you hold on a minute here? Hold on. Stand by for a minute, Eric. Ed, hold on. Ed, you got to stay on hold here. We're going to finish up with Eric, and we'll come out to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, stand by. Keeps on calling. It's like, okay, I like you calling, but all right, go ahead, Eric.
But yeah, I mean, I think Antoine Winfield is I don't think he's back to his all-pro self yet, I think he's starting to get there. You know,
What?
if he's healthy, I think he's the best safety in the league.
Antoine Winfield Jr. Last game against the Saints took over. He's definitely back to his all-pro form. I don't know what anybody's telling you, but you've got to. To me, he's definitely there, and he's been there when he's healthy. He's definitely there, and he showed that last Sunday that he's on all-pro form at this point to be the best safety in the league once again. Absolutely.
Possibly Jamel Dean too. 3 interceptions, forced fumble. You know, Zion, I think, you know, is rated, I think, a top 25 corner. You know, Benjamin Morrison, you know, had some good reps.
Yeah.
You know, Tyke Smith. So hopefully they can force some turnovers. And I heard Drake May can hold the ball a little too long. So, you know, maybe Todd will send a blitz, and, you know, he better watch out for Winfield, or, you know, I don't know. I know the
when
Patriots
you heard
left tackle was pretty good. From LSU. He gave up 5 sacks to Myles Garrett, but Myles, you know, and they still lost, you know, what, like 20.
Right.
So, hopefully the offense can you know, Patriots have Carlton Davis, you know, so if Gallman can come back, that'll be an interesting matchup. Ibuka probably is against Chris Gonzalez. He's pretty good. And they got Marcus Jones. So it'll be, you know, maybe it'll be a long scoring game.
Marcus,
you know, if you can win,
Jones, what are you talking about?
He's a cornerback, right?
For who? For the Bucs?
For the Patriots. Patriots.
Oh, okay.
Slot nickel guy.
Yep. That's true. That's definitely true. Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, beat the Patriots. You know, just, you know, even if they lose the next, I think we have a better shot against Buffalo. The Rams have always given us fits. Buffalo, we gave Buffalo game 2 years ago. I think we lost by a touchdown. Baker's first year. So, yeah. I think Buffalo is beatable. The Rams will be tough. But yeah. I think at least 10-7, 11-6.
All right, so 10-7, 11-6 at this point, and you don't expect him to make a trade at this juncture. You wouldn't make a trade if you're them, right?
The guy from Cincinnati, Logan Wilson, I think he'll be a good pickup, or Jordan Brooks from Miami.
Okay.
But not like a big trade, like you know, it's like, oh, you know, Myles Garrett. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, not at all, huh?
You know, no.
Right.
We'll have to give up, I don't know, probably first round picks for 2 years.
That's true.
You know, and Light doesn't really do that. But hey, if you can't go to the Super Bowl with, you know, hopefully we can get Cansey back. But, you know, Yaya and Nelson and Reddick, I think you need another edge rusher.
Okay. All right, another edge rusher, maybe a Bradley Chubb.
Jalen Phillips.
Yeah,
Miami.
That's been talked about. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. I would rather have a Chubb at this point because he has 4 sacks. So he has got a couple years left on his deal. It's not a big time deal, although $31 million next year of a cap hit. So you could save $7 million if you cut him next year. So that's a lot of money for a player but he's very productive right now. He's been productive. So he'd definitely be an upgrade over what they have at this point. All right, Eric, anything else, my friend?
One more thing.
Yes.
You think Mike Evans or McMillan, who has a better chance of playing this year?
McMillan. I think Evans will probably come back by the playoffs. If he can play, he'll definitely play before the playoffs or during the playoffs, of course. Probably
16, one of those Panthers games, the 21st.
I think they may wait until the playoffs start, actually. I don't know. It's interesting because they may bring him back sooner than that. You bring up a good point, but maybe one of those Panther games. That's certainly possible.
Has he had surgery yet? I heard he was having surgery this week. I don't know if
I thought he had surgery already. That's what I thought. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah, that speeds up the process, you know.
Yeah.
6 to 12 weeks, so 8 weeks puts it at about the 21st. So yeah, we'll see. You know, he's not gonna, you know, if he was younger, you know, and hopefully Ibuka, you know, I think he looked a little better. Him and Baker looked a little off. Baker was going through, you know, oblique knees, and he wasn't running as much.
Right.
Baker's at his best.
Right.
You know, if no one's down the field, you know, let him run. He's one of the, you know, especially on third down, he knows where the stick is, and he knows how to juke the heck out of the people and break some ankles.
Well, he definitely knows how to do that. I tell you what, Eric, we got to run here. We got somebody coming back in here on the show, so you're going to definitely love to see this and definitely use that second call, my friend. All right?
Yes, sir. Go Bucs.
All right, absolutely. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, no, boy. Wait up.
We got the job, baby. Yeah!
All right, Eric, appreciate the call right there. Let's go ahead and go out to this guy. Ed, stand by. Let's go out to my co-host. Welcome back, my friend. Here we go. Mr. Harry the Greek, you worried all of us the other night. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. As always, how are you feeling?
What's up, Pete? I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, what have we been talking about? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers being 6-2 after defeating the New Orleans Saints 23-3. Give me your initial thoughts on this team, and Ed will get out to you in a moment. Stand by.
I stand in the same thing. They should be able to cruise to the playoffs this year. New Orleans really wasn't much. It wasn't a very formidable game, to be honest with you. I think they could have beat them a lot worse than what they did. Thank God they're going into a bye week, because there's not a team in the National Football League that needs their bye week more than the Buccaneers right now.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I was said at the beginning of this show here as I'm sharing the show finally on Facebook. Thank you very much, Facebook, for allowing me to share the show. Tell you what, let's go out to Ed here. Ed, welcome to the Evolution on a victory Wednesday here. Yes, absolutely. Go Bucs. So what's on your mind tonight, boss?
A couple of things. One, I find it really funny that only Bucs games have phantom whistles.
Well, it's not just the
Two,
Bucs games. It's a lot of the games at this point.
They
But
have
go
phantom
ahead.
whistles on all the games. A lot of the games.
Well, there's been some questionable calls. Maybe let's talk about
questionable calls. Yes.
Guys, it's just not the Buccaneers, man. This is happening all over the National Football League. There's so much bullshit going on right now in refereeing and what they're calling. Woody, does it really surprise you? Seriously, I mean, this has been going on. This team still won by 20 points.
Very true.
You can have all the phantom calls you want. It's when it becomes a decider to the game.
Right.
Well,
this time it didn't hurt us. You're right. But it could have came back and hurt us, but it didn't. Good news.
At no point in this game were they even threatened.
No. They just couldn't stop
well,
us.
Here's the deal, though. This could have been bad because, and I'll go back to it. They could have been up 14-0. Instead, they're only up 7-3 at halftime. Antoine Winfield Jr. should have a touchdown, and they take it off the board. That changes the complexion of the game. So the Bucs could have been up 14-0 instead of just barely struggling at 7-3. So I understand his point, and you kind of talked about this. So we talked about the gambling scandal.
Anybody see the Alabama game versus South Carolina?
I didn't get a chance to see it. No.
You didn't see that, huh?
No,
I implore you to watch how Alabama took the lead. The running back is going around end on the right side, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the DB has a perfect line of sight at him. And as soon as he runs up on him, Peter, he does this. Just like this, and lets him go around him. It was almost as if he was playing special teams. And that's why Alabama took the lead. So I don't want to get too much caught up about.
Well, you can. I thought you would.
Well, you know what? I have no problem talking about it because I stood on a soapbox 4 years ago right here on this very show and said the worst thing that's ever going to happen to the National Football League. And I'm an advocate and I'm very pro gambling, but it has no business being in the NFL, the NBA, MLB, and the NHL. And I'm telling you now, before the end of 2030, every facility, whether it's the National Football League, Major League Baseball, NBA, if there is an NBA by then, and the NHL will have a book in the stadium. Watch, it's coming. But they're just finding different ways to cheat. They're just finding different ways to cheat. Look, man, we all want to turn a blind eye because we're in love with the sport the way it is. But I've been talking about it for the longest time. Does everybody have short-term memory what happened 2 years ago between Minnesota and Indianapolis and the 4 players that were indicted and suspended? How come we don't hear about that anymore? Because they never played again. They're smart enough to roll this shit up underneath the carpet, guys. Okay, this is not going to go well because there's going to be so much coming out of it, your head is going to spin. He's more crooked than Blagojevich was in the state of Illinois.
Wow. Starting out, just like always there, Harry. I love it. Good stuff as always. So, Ed, what else, my friend?
Well, I think that I think this should be legal, and the Justice Department should do a investigation into the NFL, see if there's a connection with the league, and just start cracking some heads.
Because crack what heads? So when you find out, so if you find out that Patrick Mahomes is involved in point shaving, what are you going to do? Do you honestly think that the multi-billion-dollar industry? I'm just saying, what are they going to do? It'll taint the game too much. Why do you think? And you know what? Where I'm going to go back on this. Why do you think Michael Jordan retired for 2 years? Because he was perfectly healthy and sane? Don't believe what you're seeing on TV. I got firsthand information from a very good friend of mine. No, it wasn't because of that. Okay, trust me when I tell you that. A very good friend of mine is dead. His name is Mr. Pete Rose, and I got the inside skinny back in the 90s before Jordan even retired. The NBA forced him to go because people have a short memory. I don't know how old you are, Eric, but the NBA was going to fold over like a house of cards if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, because he was such a degenerate gambler. And then his father got involved. Remember, his father was killed a couple years later because he didn't pay off his debts. You do remember that, correct? Wow. The NBA said, get out. This is your suspension. You will make it like you retired, and then we'll take it from there. That came from the man himself who told me that.
Well, I do remember the Pete Rose thing. Definitely.
Yeah, he was a very close friend of mine.
I wanted to play baseball, but anyways, that's beside the point. My take on it is this should be legal. It's going to ruin this game. People already think it's rigged. And if they continue to go on this course, there'll be no fans. And then what's going to happen to the league at that point?
I don't know. That's a really, really good question. But the NBA, if it really comes out, it could be the absolute end of the NBA. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
If this really comes to pass, it could come to the end of it. Why do you think Jordan retired for the 2 years? I just want you to think about it.
I thought it was to go play baseball, but I guess I didn't know.
It was. He had an affliction for baseball. Who the hell is going to go ahead and leave in the prime of their career, man, to go play a sport that they weren't even that good at?
I thought it was weird.
No, because he was a bad gambler. He got caught. It was coming around. And I'll tell you who else was gambling was in baseball, was Albert Bell. Okay? And you know what? Pete Rose, again, he told me, sitting right over here at Tampa Downs, flat out told me, Albert Bell's not going to get busted for it. Not going to. And he pulled out a couple of racial insinuations, the whole reason why. But, you know, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just telling you what was told to me personally. See, I can finally expose some of these things because the man's not around. I told him I would never repeat some of the things. I am one of the few people that have the transcripts from every bet slip that Pete Rose has ever had. Okay?
That's amazing stuff right there.
All right.
There's only two copies. My copy. There's only two copies around. My copy and the copy the courthouse have.
Wow. All right, Ed. What else?
One more thing I want to talk about.
Sure.
So there's been, I mean, to me, it seems like there's been a lot more injuries than normal, especially the star players.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think I feel like the NFL needs to take a look at this because they're making their money. The most of their money off of star players, right? Their revenue comes from, the brand of their star players. If they're always on the bench or hurt, like we just lost Mike Evans, possibly for the whole season, probably for the whole season. He's a big star in this league.
Well, it's not.
So what are you blaming that play on? I blame that on the coaching staff. He never should have been on that pattern.
Well,
if you remember correctly, they were running the ball just fine. I'm not going to go there. That wasn't a penalty that took out Mike Evans.
It was a penalty. It was absolutely a penalty. It was all over.
Absolutely, it was.
That was, buddy. I'm telling you, that was bang bang. If he wasn't running 100 miles an hour downfield, the man broke his collarbone, not because the defender was over the top of him, Pete.
Well, he's over the top.
That was not the reason of it.
But injuries happen, but it wasn't on the Bucs offensive coordinator for calling a play. You're going to put you're Mike Evans.
That was a horrible call. Horrible call. Never should have been on it.
Come on. Mike Evans, you're going to have an opportunity to go down the field of Mike Evans. If the ball
throw him a jump pattern going on the sidelines. The guy's got more hamstring issues than anything.
I get that, but that's the NFL. And to blame the NFL, it's not the NFL. It's the NFL Players Association. They wanted to not have these practices and not have preseason games and not have all these reps that they're missing out on. So this is what you get. This is the direct result for that. This is the body loading. This is all the nonsense that everybody tries to tell you is going to help athletes out. That's actually hurt athletes at this point. Ed, appreciate the call as always.
Hey, Ed, you're always awesome, Ed. You're awesome, buddy.
All right, let's go watch.
Let me be clear. I've watched this replay multiple times on the coach's version of tape.
Yeah.
When I tell you bang, bang, he wasn't draped on him, Pete. It looked like from the camera view that you were watching from the backside, Peter, that his arm was already on him. He was this far away, Pete. And when the ball got there, then he was on him. There was no penalty. They would never call that.
I agree.
There's more egregious plays.
I'm gonna have to show you the picture.
Well, I'll show you the tape.
Well, show me the tape, but I'm telling you, he was all over him. You can't make contact with the wide receiver unless the ball is there. And it wasn't bang, bang. He was on him, and then on top of it, grabbed his shoulder pad even more, which made it worse. Because you can't.
I didn't see that part of it.
Well,
you know what, Pete? You know what really stinks about the whole thing?
Yes.
They brought Mike Evans back. Never should have made that play for him. They were moving the ball just fine without it. I'm a little shocked that's what happened in that game. I'm really sad to see the guy be down. He's not even going to probably be back for the rest of the year. And if he is, he's an absolute Superman. I guess my opinions sometimes don't fly over too well, but that's not why I come on the show for.
I get it.
I call it like it is. They never should have called that play. Never should have called that play. That man has been too injured far too often to call that play flying him downfield. There was nothing they were going to do to stop the guy. Absolutely nothing. You throw him an out pattern, he'll out jump anybody. You throw him a crossing pattern, throw him a fly pattern. Where the hell do you think he's going to land? He's going to land with his arms forward with a broken collarbone. And then he hits his head. It's just horrible what happened to him. I feel so bad.
And you can also blame the field too, because the field is not great. And I don't know when they're going to, take the cement out of the concrete. It happens.
Pete, I don't know what happened
that's
to
the National Football League.
I don't know what happened to your video, but your video is absolutely horrible right now. Why don't you go ahead and pull yourself back out for 5 seconds and come back in? While Peter's trying to go ahead and get back in because his video doesn't really look all that great. This is how we do this on the sports web. We just kind of continuously talk. Yep, there. It's still not that. It's coming back. That's better.
I don't know what the Wi-Fi situation is right now. You gotta love Spectrum.
It's just going up and down.
Spectrum, bro. It's always Spectrum. So
it's just coming back. No, man. The Bucs are going to cruise to the playoffs. They just need to. They need to get healthy.
Right.
And they need to run the football. And then I said this about Bucky Irvin too. I was like, people don't believe me. The man's not a 3-down back. He's just not big enough. He wants to play like Mike Allstott, but the reality is he doesn't have Mike Allstott's body. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I follow what you're saying.
And I think they need to make it more balanced with a two-headed attack like Detroit does and some of the other teams in football. They have a great running game. And by the way, your video looks perfect now.
Yeah, there's some things going on right now.
But when he comes back, hold on. But Bucky's going to be the big difference for this team.
We got TJ Rives of the Buccaneers Radio Network, the media icon, coming on here in just a little bit as Facebook has been screwing with some things here. Got an opportunity to share it out. So hopefully you guys share it, like and subscribe. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Also like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Let's go out to the comments here. Misador says, "What's up, Peter Blake? What's going on with you?"
Oh, yeah.
Jacob Dietz says, "You know what it is? LFG Bucs, absolutely."
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, Peter Blake, absolutely.
Yes.
Joshua says, "Oh, we got a show tonight." Yes, you do. Risa White says, "What's up, Peter? How is the Greek doing?" Right there, you see him right there, and go Bucs, go Bucs.
Fire the cannon.
Let's go out to James. You did the same thing to me. 6-2 headed into the bye. I'll take that all day. I remember a lot saying we would be a lot worse going in. Ben Cornett from Las Vegas, and we get out to the media icon, is patiently waiting. Good evening, Peter H. Blake. I'll share the show for you. Thank you. Jim Melvin, I'll share to my followers. Thank you very much. Joshua Dietz, someone is lying, Pete, about that share. If we pick up anyone, it's got to be an edge. That's the question for the night. We posed this on Monday. We'll pose it again. Who would you like to see the Bucs pick up at the trading deadline if you had an opportunity? Edge, linebacker, wide receiver, corner, whatever you want, guys. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Christopher Cole says, "Evening, Pete. If the Bengals somehow want to field calls for Trey Hendrickson, if I'm Jason Light, I at least listen. Other than that, I stand pat. Mike D. Roche's, if I hear or see a chance moment on refs, I may have to quit being on this show. Yes, refs aren't very good, but the Bucs did win. Let's move on. Enjoy first place. Listen, Mike D, you know what? I'm not going to even go there with you because for some reason you don't want to talk about refs, but obviously the refs in that game were messed up. So we won't talk about refs because Mike D. Roche's from Canada doesn't want to talk about refs. All right, let's go out to the media icon, Mr. TJ Rives of the Buccaneers Radio Network. Welcome. Let's not talk refs tonight, but I will start out with that. What was your thought process on there, Mr. TJ Rives of the Buccaneers Radio Network, sideline reporter? What did you think of some of these calls last Sunday versus the Saints?
I'm still questioning the whole thing about a whistle, a phantom whistle. I don't get that. By the way, great, good to be with you. I know you haven't been feeling well, but you posted tonight on the show. I don't see like an IV in the arm and the tube behind you, so we must be okay. Discharged. We're all good on that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the officiating. Look, I've heard this long ago and repeated it. When you worry too much about officiating, make your own plays, make your own luck, and overcome it. And the Buccaneers showed that on Sunday. I mean, granted, you're playing a bad team, and they were able to do that, but don't get so wrapped up in the refs are out to get you and conspiracy theory or the refs love the Chiefs more than they love you, which it certainly seems that way. Just go make plays, go win the game, go beat them. So I kind of agree with the sentiment there of Mike in Canada, the Canuck. He probably's got one eye on the show and one eye on the Blue Jays and the Dodgers right now. To see what happens in that. But hey, the reality is you found a way to win the game. The reality further is we saw so many of those games in the late 90s and the early 2000s. Did we not, guys? Did we not?
Yes.
Sports Web audience. Tony Dungy's teams would win 5 games a year like that were just ugly on offense, defensive score, kick field goals, and win the game. You're allowed to have one or two of those. They don't have they don't have an addendum. There's a big word on the sports rep. They don't have a list, an addendum of, well, that win doesn't really count because you didn't score 3 offensive touchdowns. It doesn't say that in the standings, does it, Greek? It just says
the last time
and L.
Yep, just like I said, remember the beginning part of the year, no one's going to remember how they won that game. It's still a W.
It's
6
just
weeks
a dub.
down the road, they're going to be like, it's the dub. Nobody remembers what
Peter,
happened.
this is the time for your sound effect from Todd Bowles. This is the time for your sound effect from Todd
We
Bowles.
got the dub, baby.
There it is,
What
right there.
matters.
Yes.
That's what matters is you won the game. How about you've got Anthony Nelson and Chase McLaughlin as the NFC Offensive Players of the Week?
That is absolutely happened today. And
How about that?
How about that, right? Anthony Nelson. I mean, let's talk about this guy because I feel like he played better than Hassan Reddick played the whole year. And he even talked about this at the end of the game. He had some interesting, right. the way Nelson played. But talk about Nelson and his comments because it was interesting. You interviewed him at the end of the game.
And again, he's been waiting for his opportunity, play special teams. Again, he's been on this team since 2019. He won the Super Bowl, was on the Super Bowl team, and is a spot, starter and player on the defense. But at times he's been called upon because of injury to play more significantly, or whatever the case is, if they don't like the play of some others, to get out there. And so after the game, I said, tell me about tipping the ball to yourself and the interception. And I love the refreshing honesty. He says, I blacked out. I don't really remember. I got in the end zone and everybody's celebrating with me. It's crazy how that works sometimes in pro sports. I said, so it was more instinctive than anything else, right? Nonetheless, I'm distracted right now. Do you want something fun from the World Series? Not fun for whatever happened here.
Give me something.
Harry, you want a quick nugget here on this?
Love it.
Okay. So the Dodgers are playing the Blue Jays. We know this. So much attention around LA with all the stars, etc. I have been fascinated for 2 or 3 years watching these Dodger games that the Mary Hart of Entertainment Tonight is always sitting right behind home plate with her husband, right? So you've got the game on currently, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Right. The Blue Jays are beating the Dodgers, and I just looked up while we were talking about Anthony Nelson, and the guy at the plate for the Dodgers has hit a foul ball behind home plate, And the foul ball apparently may have hit her husband on the way down. And they're tending to her. And Mary Hart is holding the baseball, smiling. And now she's realizing that her husband may have been injured, brained by the foul ball right behind the screen and right behind home plate. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You never know on the sports web here what comes up. All right, it appears the husband is okay in real time that I'm watching this. And Mary Hart is showing off the foul ball. We bring it all to you.
Yeah, we do.
Blue Jays 3, Dodgers 1. If the Blue Jays win, they only need to win one more of the final 2 games in Toronto, to be the world champions. But the game's not over yet. Dodgers can still come back in Game 5.
He only got 2 hits in this game.
Cutting stuff, cutting news, cutting edge stuff on the sports web.
Love it.
That Mary Hart is sitting right there with her hubby in the easily what do you think those seats are going for Game 5 of the World Series? About $5,000 a pop, $10,000 a pop.
I'd have to say just under the $10,000 mark. They'd have to be.
Under.
I mean, I would not want to be sitting right behind home plate.
Well,
I wouldn't myself. I like sitting right behind. I like being on the field, right next to the dugout. That very first seat that you kind of look in there and just
see what's going on in the dugout. By the way, Peter's guy Brad Pitt is there from the F1 movie. Mm-hmm. They're showing all the actors and the celebs. LeBron was there last night. Of course, he's hurt and can't play for the Lakers right now. They got all the celebs.
Right.
Anyway, where were we? Anthony Nelson. So he said he blacked out, Greek, Peter, and audience. And I like the refreshing honesty. There was more instinct than it was thinking about bat the ball, catch the ball. Great athletic play. He's a former basketball player in high school. He's 6'7" with the long arms. He's like 7 feet tall. Tip the pass to yourself. So that was a great play.
Wow.
Had a couple of sacks in the game.
Yeah.
Had a forced fumble on a tremendous play. I mean, the Saints were driving early in the game. He ran behind Rattler and swatted the ball out.
Yeah.
Great effort from him. And then how nails has Chase McLaughlin been with 3 50-yard field goals in the second half of the game?
Yes.
So co-players of the week. Pop quiz, Peter Blake, the last time that the Buccaneers had co-players of the week. I'll even give you the year. Do you know the answer?
I have the answers right here.
The answer is the co-players of the week. The last time the Bucs had a NFC Player of the Week by 2 position players in the same week was?
Both players. I had the list in front of me with defensive and offensive. So
2007, the Buccaneers had 2 players of the week in the same week.
That has to be. Let's see.
One of them is an absolute given. Think about who's still playing in 07 that's in the Hall of Fame.
Offensive player.
Defensive player that's playing in 07 for Gruden in the last couple of years of his career.
Rondé Barber.
It was not Rondé. Good guess. Who's the other one?
Derek
Brooks.
Okay.
And who was the special teams player of the week on the 07 team?
That had to be Matt Bryant.
Matt Bryant and Derek Brooks. That's the last time the Bucs had 2 guys in the same week.
That's pretty hard to do if you really think about it.
Well, your Bears might have gotten it like with an Urlacher, Devin Hester. When you start thinking about what it would take. It would take a big-time returner or kicker in a week.
I think that happened against that team against Dennis Green, if I'm not mistaken.
In the game with the Cardinals?
Yes.
The Cardinals?
Yep.
They are who we thought they were.
They are. You want to crown them? Crown their ass.
All right. God. Actually, this is the 5th time.
God rest his soul, by the way.
Yeah, Dennis Green.
You have 5 times the Bucs have actually done this. 99, Week 11, Donnie Abraham and Martin Gramatica.
Wow.
2001, Derek Brooks and Todd Yoder.
Wow.
Todd Yoder blocked a punt, I think.
I believe
the
you're
Bucs
right.
returned for a touchdown. I think if I remember that correctly. Because, again, he was not a returner. He was not a kicker. It would have had to have been something special like a block punt. And Yoder was good at blocking kicks.
Was that against the Eagles in Week 16? Was that the year that they played them before the season ended and then played them again in Philadelphia?
They played them because of the 9/11 makeup game. I think you're right on the money. And Yoder blocked a punt, I think, in that game, as I recall. 2006. Game that meant nothing because the 2 teams realized this game doesn't mean anything. We're playing each other. It's locked in the wild card game next week, so it became a preseason game.
Yes.
That night. Right. I remember that.
2006, Week 7. That was against Philadelphia. It has to be against Philadelphia because
That's
that was
Barber with the 2 picks and Matt Bryant with the 62-yard field goal.
Matt Bryant, you are my hero from Gene Deckerhoff right there.
Fire the cannon!
2008, week 4, what you talked about, Derek Brooks and Matt Bryant. And then, of course, 2025, Anthony Nelson and Chase McLaughlin. Now, Donnie Abraham.
It was done a bunch from 99 to like 07.
Yeah.
But now for 18 years, it hasn't been done since. It is pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to do. Talk
Great
about
trivia.
This. Yeah, absolutely. Got to love that with the media icon, Mr. TJ Rives of the Buccaneers Radio Network. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek professional handicapper extraordinaire. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Little welcome back, Cutter.
Yes, you like that.
A show that you know nothing about because you were not on the planet.
John Travolta's first show.
Mr. Carter.
There you go.
I was more like a Vinny Barbarino.
Vinny Barbarino. And what was it that Freddie? It was Freddie Boom Boom Washington off the show.
Yeah, I'm Freddie.
And
Boom,
what he would
boom,
say,
Washington.
and what he would say, hi there. Hi there.
Hi there. Epstein was my absolute
Mr. Carter.
favorite.
Mr. Carter. He kept calling him Mr. Carter.
All right.
Welcome back.
Defense.
Wait a minute. What was the principal's name or the vice principal's name? The character. What was the character's?
God.
Now we're going to be hung up on this for the rest of the night.
You got me on that one.
The white-haired actor that was perfect.
Yes,
he was perfect for the role, but we got to come up with his name later on.
I got my eyes on all of you guys. All you guys. Sweat hogs.
Sweat hogs.
All right. So 5 sacks by that defense. Speaking of sweat hogs, that defense really sweated out.
Nice segue.
Thank you. And listen, I really think the offense has been banged up. Baker Mayfield seems like he's dealing with some injuries at this point, a knee.
Agreed.
That's been reported an oblique. Wide receivers are banged up. The offensive line's banged up. So do you get the sense of talking to these defensive players in that locker room that they wanted to step up, they wanted to show, because all we've heard throughout the season, TJ, is offense, defense isn't doing their part, and now the defense does their part.
Hey, sometimes you got to win games like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you won a game in Seattle that was like arena football, was it not?
Yes.
I mean, nobody stopped anybody for like 2.5 hours till Levante David got the interception. Sometimes you got to win a game like that. And then sometimes you got to win an ugly one. We go back to that 0-2 season where Martin Gramatica twice had to kick all the field goals to win the game. Remember against Carolina, Brad Johnson hurt. Gramatica kicked 3 50-yard field goals in that game.
Yes.
And then at the end of the year, he kicked 5 field goals at Champaign against somebody's Bears to clinch the NFC South.
Yes.
And clinch the division and clinch home field in a 15-0 shutout. Sometimes you have to win games like this. By the way, we have the answer. I have found the answer. Principal Woodman. Principal Woodman, played by John Sylvester White. He was the white-haired guy.
Yes.
There you go.
Back, Cotter. We're there for.
TJ, I have a question for TJ.
Please. Yes.
This is really important.
Vital.
All inquiring minds want to know this. TJ, since the game against USF, all the Greekites, the Sports Web, and everybody in Tampa would love to know, how do you enjoy sleeping on the couch?
Let me say this, Peter. Come on back. Let me say this right here. I was not on my own going to bring this up, but since the Greek has brought this up,
I had to.
Peter, do you have at your arsenal there? Do you have the cricket sound effects?
I do have the cricket sound effects.
This has been the USF response for days now.
This is what
people in the present vernacular have ghosted me. They got nothing to say, including in my house with Mrs. Rives. With this, got nothing to say. Got nothing to say after that comeback, and that's fine. It's like the movies. It's like the movies. Silence is golden. Silence is golden right now as Memphis made the comeback.
It was a great game. Memphis made the comeback, and Gramatica choked. I mean, what else are you going to do?
Well, listen, I
don't blame Nico as much. I mean, it's bad snap.
Mm-hmm.
Ball was almost sideways when they put it down in front of him, and he kicked it.
Yep.
So, and believe me, I have a great relationship with the Gramaticas. They're friends of mine, and have been for 25 years. All of them, and the families and the sons. You don't think that I would have heard from them if he makes the kick and they beat Memphis. So right now, Peter, where's your crickets? Right now, even from the Grammaticas and everybody, we got this.
We got crickets, and I will make this assumption, or I'll make this statement. Goalish should have taken the points instead of going for it on fourth down. On top of it, you have a critical holding penalty that puts you back 52 yards, because at that point, USF's offense is getting ready to tie the game up, but they got an offensive call. It's neither here nor there. Memphis was the better team. The defense didn't show up in that.
I don't necessarily agree with that,
Memphis
Peter.
was not the better team until the final 10 minutes of the game. Then they became the better team and pulled it out.
I'm going to be honest with you, Peter. I don't agree with that. I think USF could have had that game at any point, to be honest with you. I think they shot themselves in the foot.
If they take the points.
They really did.
The points.
USF just didn't win that game. And it's a shame, because this team would really – all they had to do was win out. And they would have really had a solid shot at going to a playoff. I'm not sure Memphis has that kind of shot to do that, though.
Well, no, but I mean, here's the reality. It's going to come down to whoever wins the American Conference Championship game. And Memphis now controls its own destiny, as we've been talking about, Peter, to host the title game. But they got to play somebody.
Correct.
Whether it is a rematch with USF, a rematch with Tulane, who they play next week. They play Rice this week. They play Tulane next week. Or they play Navy at home later this year.
Correct.
Are they playing them? USF does not play Tulane. USF does play Navy at Navy, but that is after Navy plays Notre Dame at South Bend the week after. So there's a lot of football to be played. Mrs. Rives loves that phrase too. Back to her. She doesn't. I don't have her photo with me, but she loves the phrase. There's a lot of football still to be played, because you could see a sequel. You could see a repeat of Memphis and USF in the championship game in Memphis in December. Again, the highest seeded team will host the game. Memphis, Tulane, Navy, USF, whomever. Yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. A lot of football still to be played on that. I'll take the hat off for the Tigers, but one more time. Go Tigers, go.
Go Tigers, go.
They get the win over USF.
How about this? We're segueing into everything. How about LSU getting rid of their head coach? And TJ, before we even go there, how bad do you think this is going to get for the NBA with Chauncey Billups and Rozier and all these other players? I mean, you've heard me talk about it. I'm an advocate for gambling, but I stood on a soapbox 4 and 5 years ago screaming it has no place in major sports, NFL, NHL, NBA. And before the year 2030, I've been telling everybody, you're going to have a sports book in every stadium. They're just finding more creative ways to cheat. So, TJ, I want to hear a good 2-minute dissertation on what you think is going to end up happening, because I personally
you want me to
NBA,
solve that tonight on a Wednesday night on the Sports Web? I don't know how we solve it. The toothpaste don't
solve it.
Brother,
what do you think's going to happen?
The toothpaste don't go back in the tube. You can't unring the bell is the legal term. Right. Can't put the genie back in the bottle. Peter, how many more metaphors do you want?
Oh,
you can't go back and undo this.
Nope.
It's a disaster.
Open up Pandora's box.
That's right. It's a disaster. It's a disaster right now for the NBA. As much as they want to try to mitigate this, they have to go back right now and look at everything with Terry Rozier and see how many games was he fixing. Wait till the lawsuits come from all the people that lost money on a Charlotte Hornets game or a game involving Rozier, or now go back and look at Portland Trailblazer games where Chauncey Billups was purposely and willingly, as the coach, holding players out to lose on purpose with the spread. This is a disaster for them, a disaster. So, and it's not over. It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
TJ, it's been going on for so many years. You know, I think I've told you I was pretty good friends with Pete Rose for many years, and we've had some really in-depth conversations. And I always promised him that I would never divulge those conversations when he was alive. I could talk about him after, and I've already talked about a few things, and we've touched on a few things here in the Sports Web. It's been going on for a very long time, and it's not going to stop. For some reason, the NFL, the hypocrisy that has happened since 2002 to 2025, it's just absolutely unreal, and it's all because of the money. That's exactly what it is, and it's not about the fans, and it's a shame. If you watch, Google and YouTube the play that South Carolina, Alabama, when Alabama took the lead with the running back going around the right edge.
Right.
South Carolina, their DB was on a perfect line. Could have made the tackle without no problem. He went like this.
They let him score.
Hands up.
Well, but they were letting them score to get the ball back because they knew in that instance, tie game, they're out of timeouts. If the guy lays down, they're going to kneel on the ball, run the clock down, kick the field goal, and win the game. They were at least trying to get the ball back in that instance.
Yeah, I looked at it in a little bit of a different way. You know,
he wasn't backing off because he had Alabama. I mean, it didn't cover the spread, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I had on the 3 Dog Thursday podcast, I had South Carolina. The line was 12.5. That touchdown didn't mean anything for covering the line. Maybe it meant something for the over, but I don't think so. They were letting them score on purpose to try to get the ball back at the end of the game, which we've now seen a couple of different times in Buccaneer games. Rashad White went and laid down in Seattle to run the clock all the way down and kick the field goal on the last play of the game. So anyway, back to your original question, and then we'll move on to a couple more Buck things, and then I got to get out of here.
Yes.
This is not going anywhere, and it's only going to probably get nastier for the NBA, and now Antonio Gates is involved. By the way, you just put him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame last year. He's involved as a former player in this scandal. His name has been linked to one of these rigged poker games where people lost millions of dollars. I saw one of these guys being interviewed, and he's like, I lost over $1.5 million in a weekend being ripped off and defrauded by people who were cheating. They brought me into a game and were cheating me. And I guess the wider question is, how much more widespread is this from just what the NBA has found out, and how much of it is going on in Las Vegas? Do we really believe that the only people that are utilizing this are the lay people, the crime families of New York and whoever? I mean, can't we call into question that there may be a casino or two that's using some of this too to cheat people somehow, some way?
No. Every casino, all the automatic card shufflers, they know exactly where the cards are going. Anybody that's been, let's just say, for the people that are living in the great Tampa Bay area, when you go to the Hard Rock Casino and you're playing their like Texas Hold'em games, not downstairs, I'm talking about their table games, the ultimate Texas Hold'em or the 3-card poker. And then you look up at the sign, they'll show you what the jackpots are, you know, for a straight flush or this and that, and how much they are. And as long as you put that little coin, which is usually $5, on the jackpot chip, you're eligible. That card machine knows exactly what cards are being spit out and to who. It's not a game of chance anymore. It really isn't. It's horrible. And they're
so
getting
in other
away
words,
from it. They're getting away with it.
The public service announcement tonight from the Greek and the Sports Web is don't gamble. Don't go gamble your money. All right, anything else Buccaneer related that we need to cover before I get out of here? By the way, back to the baseball game. I'm like ADD. Yes. You are going to see the highlight on social media and everywhere. Tampa kid Austin Barger from King High School, just the kid that hit the grand slam in game 1. What a story. Pinch hit, grand slam for a Tampa high school baseball product from King High School in Tampa, Addison Barger. Addison Barger just made a phenomenal diving catch on, guess who? Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani laced the ball to right field, and he ran and dove like Dale Murphy back in the day. Like the Hawk, Andre Dawson, diving for the ball for the Cubs.
Go.
You'll see the highlight from Addison Barger all over the local news and all over the internet.
I know Harry loves that. Listen, I gotta settle something me and Harry have a disagreement about here. That penalty against was that a penalty in your opinion with the defensive player draped all over Mike Evans in the Lions game? Yes or no?
I believe it could have been called. It's a bang thing. Clearly, there are still photos and slowed down video of him grabbing Evans before the ball is there. I will side with the Greek on that's a bang, not an obvious, immediate, egregious pass interference. That's a more difficult call.
All right. I'll
settle the dispute that way. Fair?
All right. Fair. That's fair.
It's hard to officiate in real time. It's very hard to officiate down the field running like that in real time. And it's not as if he tackled him a full half second or a second before the ball got there to make it blatantly obvious and they missed it. Fair? Correct?
Yeah. That's fair. It's fair. I still think he put his hand on that on his shoulder.
With Pete. He'll feel better.
No, just be quiet. All right.
Hey, listen. We got all subject covered. All right, what else we got here? Let's see.
Has 16 sacks in 3 years. Jason has looked in-house, now needs to make a move. Hassan Reddick is a bust, signing half sacks here before the injury. They can't sniff the quarterback's pads. I think Anthony Nelson
has the viewer. Put the comment back up. What's the viewer's name?
It is Teresa Neptune here. But
Teresa.
This
on the last sentence there, they can't sniff the quarterback's pads. 5 sacks Sunday. Game against Jared Goff, I believe they had 3 sacks. The game against Mac Jones, I think they had 5 sacks. They got something like 13 sacks in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
So they are finding ways with the blitz and different disguise stuff to get to the quarterback.
They're getting to the quarterback, and they're doing it with a 4-man rush, even though they blitz more than anybody in football. But I've noticed that they're getting tremendous pressure up front. Hassan Reddick, he's just a man on a milk carton, but the rest of the team is playing extremely well.
Well, let's see if he gets back healthy and see if that leg doesn't feel a little better now that Anthony Nelson looked the way that he looked and gets back after the bye week and gets after it. I don't think Reddick has been bad. I mean, you're not always going to get home. He's gotten held a couple of times instead of getting home for a sack. I wouldn't say bad or bust. Do you need more out of him? Yes. Is he on an incentive? Is he on an incentive-based deal? Yes. Where he's going to try to get more, and it's a long season. I mean, kids, you still got 9 more games left in the regular season for him to make some contributions.
Maybe he's watching this show and he'll light a fire in his ass.
Well, maybe I think Sunday in the Superdome was part of that too, which is there's somebody there that's going to it's the next man up.
Yeah.
Not for long. It's the next man up. And as for the trades, I don't look for the blockbuster trade. Probably not coming. Now, might they make a deal for a linebacker, for linebacker depth, inside linebacker help for Levante David?
Jordan Brooks from the Miami Dolphins. That's been mentioned by Pewter Reports, been mentioned by various sources out there. Miami right now, they're tanking, although don't tell the Atlanta
Miami, Tennessee, the Jets, the Browns, Spy Tech with the Raiders. We got 5 teams right there that all have the same phrase, who you want. Right now when Jason Light is calling virtually who you want, or any other team that's calling who you want.
I just don't honestly think that Tampa is really going to go after anybody, and if they do, it'll be a wide receiver. I think this team just cruises into the playoffs. They got a Super Bowl team sitting right here. All they got to do is just get healthy and make sure when they get Bucky back that they just don't use him as a 3-down back every time.
You won 3 games with Bucky Irving injured and not playing, and now you get that explosive weapon back who's going to open up things for other people too, by the way. While they're paying attention to him. Stay tuned on that. Anything else, Peter, before I depart? Are we good?
I think that's it.
Covered it all from Welcome Back Cotter to the Memphis Tigers to the gambling probe. Anything else that we need to cover here on the sports web before I depart? Are we good?
I think we're good. And the Lightning have won 3 in a row, by the way, which is
good vibes.
Yes. People go, you don't talk Lightning on this show. We talk Lightning on this show. 3 in a row. What have you
seen out of
this team?
They woke up. They woke up defensively a little bit. It's a long season, but I mean, they got off to a 4-1 start or whatever.
Yes.
Something like that. So long season in the NHL. Again, this is not over with yet with Memphis in the American Conference Championship game situation. And again, we should illuminate whoever wins that championship game is more than likely the representative of the group of 5 to get into the college football playoff. That's the Sun Belt, the MAC, help me here. I'm going to leave somebody out. The Mountain West, the American Conference, and who is the other one off the top of my head? Conference USA. Those are the 5. USA. Those 5 conferences get a representative out of the 12 for this year. It's whoever is the college football playoff ranked, highest ranked team. They will start pulling out their rankings next Tuesday night. So you will see where Memphis is. You will see where USF is, where Navy is, where Boise State is. It's whoever the highest ranked team is there. And the difference for Memphis, USF, Tulane, and Navy is from a power ranking standpoint, those are better teams to be playing against to help the playoff selection committee rank you higher. So hopefully I explained that somewhat cogently, another big word.
Yes.
So whoever the highest ranked team out of the group of 5, what did I say again? The MAC, the Sun Belt, Conference USA, the Mountain West, and the American. Whoever the highest ranked team is, they will get in that spot. Boise State with Ashton Genty got the spot a year ago. So stay tuned on whether it's this, whether it's maybe this or somebody else.
Would be nice. It would be nice because we're at Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road, covering your USF Bulls when it comes to away watch parties. And, of course, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that being said, who do you think is the next coach of the Florida Gators? Is that Lane Kiffin, John
I don't
Gruden?
think it's him. I don't think it's him. I don't think it's either one of those.
Who do you think it is?
That's a great question. You want a name?
Yeah,
give me a name to watch?
Give me a name.
Lincoln Riley, Southern Cal.
I heard that
completely out of the blue. Who had Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma to go to Southern Cal in the first place?
Yeah.
What if Lincoln Riley wants to come mix it up in the fertile ground of Florida with all the tradition, offensive-minded coach? I got no connection. I'm not reporting it. I'm just throwing a name out there. He's going to get in the mix. LSU may try to hire him.
Well, I'm thinking maybe Nick Saban too. Or would Florida, go?
I don't think he leaves. I don't think Saban leaves the broadcast booth, baby. Ka-ching. He's making a ton of money. Doesn't have to coach anymore. Doesn't have to deal with the transfer portal, the NIL. A lot of these old guard guys are over it. Yeah. They are over it with college football in the transfer portal. Stay tuned.
All right.
Imagine what he would do to that organization. Wow.
What to Florida?
Yeah.
I think he would improve it, don't you?
I within 2 years.
You're a championship contender, any of them. Penn State, LSU, if he goes back there, Arkansas, you'd be a championship contender, any of them with Nick Saban. He's getting like $8 or $9 million literally to be on ESPN.
Yeah.
To not coach, to not lose, to go play golf like 4 days a week or go fish or do whatever you want during the season.
Yeah.
Well, he could be Belichick.
Well,
stay tuned. Stay tuned on Belichick also. By the way,
all right.
How long he hangs in.
TJ,
all right, kids.
Time.
Always good to be with you. We take the weekend off. Everybody call your mother.
Yes.
Watch some other football, and then we'll get ready for the Bucs and the Patriots in about 15. Well, no, what about 10,
Maybe
11 days?
Maybe we get together this weekend, the three of us.
Perhaps.
Wherever you want to.
As long as you're feeling better.
No, I'll feel better by then. You want to go to Greektown? Let's do Greektown.
Well, you want to do Greektown? Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned. I'll let you know. I'll have my people get with your people. Have your people get with my people and Peter's people. If Peter has people, and we'll make it happen here coming up. You're all good people in my book. Have a good night, man. We covered it all. The ADD edition of the interview. Good to be with you.
See you later, media icon, Mr. TJ Rives.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you, Spock. Thank you, Spock.
All right, see ya. There he is. He's gone. Love that guy. So we had some comments about who they agree with. They agree with me, but TJ said it was a bang bang call. So the debate will go on, but let's go out to the comments. I think we got Jim on the line. Jim, are you still there?
There are no more debates.
Oh my God, Jim has been waiting so patiently.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell is the matter with you?
Jim, let's go ahead, my friend. You've been waiting patiently. We appreciate it, my friend. You sat there and listened to that. What's on your mind tonight, my friend?
Hey, I want to talk about the Antoine Winfield Jr. interceptions. I've been wanting the secondary to do something all year, and we get 2 interceptions, we can't get a touchdown on them. So I don't understand what's going on with that. Even TJ Rives was talking about he don't understand what the fantasy whistle and all that.
I don't either. Yeah. And we got people who are tired of hearing about it, but I don't understand it. I'll never get it. Antoine Winfield is a beast. Antoine Winfield Jr. is a beast. He brings out his best versus the Saints, and we'll just leave it at that. But I agree with you. I didn't understand it at all. I think.
And what did they call him a second? Because I was kind of busy.
Yeah.
I had a passage anniversary, man. I'll be busy on Sundays.
No, that's okay.
What did they call him a second whistle where he didn't get the second touchdown?
There was an erroneous whistle. That's what Todd Bowles said. And the ref's explanation for that was that there was some type of whistle on the other side of the field, and that's why they blew the play dead in the first place. So
yeah, that's crazy. He caught 2 of them, right?
He did. He got 2. He had 2 opportunities there, and they took them both away from him. So one was on contact, and they just ruled him down, which I don't understand it, but the Bucs won the game. But I just feel like if this continues to happen over and over again, whether it's against the Bucs or against somebody else, it's going to be, once again, people are going to say, what's going on here? We just got through a gambling scandal. Is something going on? And that's what you don't want. It's the thought of it. It's the allegation, it's the speculation that absolutely kills the game. And you have to protect the integrity of the game at the end of the day. That's what it's about. So,
well, the NFL got to do something about the referees. We can't nobody do nothing.
They're not going to do. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. Don't care. It is what it is.
Sweep it under the rug. All right.
I don't agree with that, Pete. I think eventually they're going to.
I mean, until it costs.
They're going to start holding these referees a little bit more accountable, and they're going to have to do a better job. It's almost going to be like, okay, you screwed up once, okay, it's a slap on the hand. If you make the same call twice and it's really stupid, now you get written up, and a third time you're just done. What's the difference between a referee and what we do at work? You get written up 3 times, you're terminated.
That's what I've said over and over again. It's a production-based business. Right. If you don't do your job, get out, go away, get out. You lose your job, you don't get a chance to do it anymore at this point. And
see, they got to be careful with that. These tickets ain't cheap out here.
Nope. So, all right, my friend.
I'll listen in.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you very much
Thanks for being patient, buddy.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and get you out of here, Harry. Go ahead and give me some final thoughts on the evolution of sports talk television, my friend.
Well, actually, I have some picks, from John Bowe. People have been asking me about them and dropping lines, and John's been on fire again. He started out that season, I think it was 26-0, and didn't have a really good 2 weeks ago. He was okay last week, but he's got Vanderbilt plus 2.5 against Texas, Illinois in the money line against Rutgers, Georgia money line against Florida, and Georgia Tech minus 5.5 at North Carolina State. I'm telling you that this guy has been on fire. Just rewatch the show, and you can turn around. You can get all those picks, but make sure you use them. Let's go out and have some money. And as I always say, keep your bets low and your returns high. Pete, I appreciate you having me on. I'm a little bit tired. I'm sure you understand. I gave it my old college effort and try. And I just hope everybody has a good day. I'm just going to go get some rest. Much love, everybody. And as I always say, go Bucs, go Bears.
There you go. Good stuff. Harry the Greek, God bless you, my friend. Thanks a lot for coming on the Evolution tonight, and get some rest, my friend. We got a bye week coming, all right? There you go. He's out of here. Thanks a lot for coming on. So open phone lines if you want to talk to me about anything that we discussed tonight. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I saw somebody call in. Didn't take their call, but I got to take their call. You know why? Mr. Best of the Bay himself, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television. What's on your mind tonight, boss?
Brother, great show as always.
Thank you.
I was like, tonight you surprised us because you came out, you locked it in the first hour, and then you came out in the second hour, then you brought in the sideline guy, TJ Rives, and of course Harry. We want Harry to get better and get some rest. But I just, as much as I wanted to be, and I do. Last week's loss, the Bulls lost to Memphis. It hurt, and then TJ being a Memphis alum and loving him some Memphis.
Sure.
And we love it, but I didn't realize, Pete, and of course I won't be there tomorrow night. And I hate the fact that I can't be there on a weeknight. I know but I was telling people tonight. I'm like,
tomorrow night. I don't think anybody will be there tomorrow night, man. It's Halloween. I mean, it's Halloween in 2 nights. Nobody's going to be there tomorrow night. The game's not tomorrow.
And here's the thing, but let's not lose the track of the fact that I didn't realize the Bulls still played Navy, and Navy's still atop of the AAC. Now Memphis is second, the Bulls are third, and the Bulls will have to win out. And of course, they play Navy. That literally the first time. This is you and I've been as we covering the Bulls for the last 3 years. I want to get off, so it's a late, and I want to let you do your thing. A great show again, but we've been watching this Bulls program. They get bowl eligible the last game 2 years ago, and then last year they get bowl eligible the last home game against, I don't think it was Chattanooga, it was Charlotte. But then this year they're bowl eligible before they even played Memphis, and it's crazy. But I didn't realize they played Navy, and Navy still plays Memphis, and this AAC. I love that, TJ, and that's what I think I love about the Sports Web and what you're doing here, brother, is because you're letting people know, hey, okay, go ahead, and there's going to be 12 teams in the college playoffs, maybe expand it to 14 or 16, and Hard Rock and whatever Caesars, make your bets, but don't lose track of the fact that the AAC's had 3 teams in the top 25. all season. The first time we're out now, but Memphis and Navy are still in there. It's one of the up-and-coming conferences in all of college football. Your Bulls are still in line to win this conference, but they've got to start with the tomorrow night on Thursday on ESPN versus the University of Texas San Antonio.
Yeah, that's not until next week, buddy.
What's that?
That's not until next week.
What's tomorrow night?
No, it's not tomorrow night. It's November 6th. Yeah, nobody. It's next week.
Well, you would know. But what I'm saying is, let's not.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Well, I'm glad you. Hey, okay. So my brother, it's been crazy. But my point is that I know that people want to go back to 2007. They want to go back and like we were in the top. We beat some teams, went up. No, the fact of the matter is that the difference between, and I'm not going to go back to say difference in 07, different scenarios whatsoever. And let's see what all these openings are going to happen in all these college openings at the end of this season. And people want to make the narrative of Alex Gillespie moving forward. But make no doubt about it. This is a long-term thing, what you're seeing with your USF Bulls. And the fact of the matter is that if you're just focusing on the 12 teams that are seeded, for the playoffs this year, okay, but don't lose track of the fact that the AAC is going to be one hell of a conference to win, and the Bulls are very much still in contention for that, and we'll have you covered here. And that's why I love what you guys are talking about tonight. So, no, I appreciate that, brother. And as always, great job.
Hey, man, thanks a lot. Appreciate you. You got your days wrong. The Bulls are on a bye week as well as the Bucs are on a bye week. So we all are on a bye week at this point. We'll be back next week. But next Thursday night, USF plays University of Texas El Paso.
Well, then I will be there then. I didn't realize it. So I'm good.
UTSA. Is it? It's not University of Texas. What did I say? Texas El Paso. See, I'm on a bye week. San Antonio. Yeah, it's
no, but Peter,
UTSA. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad I was wrong on the dates because it did have a conflict this week. But the thing is, I think I want to go. I want to stress this. I don't know how the NIL is going to shake out. I don't know what NCAA and with the transfer portal they've cut it back from 2 to 1. They're trying to make it. You and I, we sat in front of Brian Kelly 2 years ago at the Relax, or last year, 2 years ago with Jaden Daniels, and he was the coaches were talking about. And here's the thing: I don't know where all that's going, but don't just focus on those 12 teams that will be seeded. You want ultimately to be seeded in that, but also take pride in the fact that these conferences, especially the AAC, is one heck of a competitive conference. So, have fun with that too, because I hate that people always are so worried so much about the destination sometimes that they forget that sometimes it's those moments or those happy times on the journey that you remember the most. And hopefully that's what we're making here with our Bulls in 2025.
Makes sense, man. You got to get out to Tampa Joe's when I'm on an away game, okay?
All right, brother.
All right. It's not just the home games. Get out there for an away game. Damn it.
Damn it, Jim.
Yeah, damn it, Jim. I'll give you the damage.
Damn it, Jim. What the hell's the matter with
you?
you?
Give me this one.
All
right. Thanks a lot, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. All right, open phone line, 727-2455. 0391 727-255-0391. I don't know where my head went there at this point. Obviously, it's getting a little bit late here, so I may wrap this show up after I read these comments, but we definitely read the comments. Miami Dolphins inside linebacker and former first-round pick Jordan Brooks is interesting, absolutely interesting, leads the league with 85 tackles. So is that somebody you want to see in the fold? I know a lot of Bucs fans would like to see him come, get traded away. But then what do you do with Savasi Dennis? What do you do with Levante David? Ed, let's hold off on the call for right now. Let me read these comments, and then we'll get back to the phone calls. Jason doesn't trade. He builds to the draft. Exactly. Chris Cole, Light will probably pick players from other teams' practice squad, if anything. We're going to hold off on the calls. Again, Ed, listen to what I'm saying. Let's go out to, we read that comment. Thank you very much. Van House Life says, go Bucs, go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Stop. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
We got the dub, baby.
Go Bucs.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon.
Go Bucs. All right, good stuff there. Let's go out to David. How is Harry doing? He's fine. He was back with us tonight, still dealing with it. Got to get a right guard or center. That's been talked about. We won the bye week. Thank you. I could be wrong, but Dennis coming off the edge more as a rusher right now. Vita and Smith are the best pass rushers currently. Nelson showed up. Vita definitely. You need more edge rush. Yaya is starting to come into his own. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, but I think Nelson has forced his way into this conversation, and the way the defense has played at this point, especially versus the Saints, I think that will stop Jason Light from making a trade. Just my feeling at this point. Gregory says, how are you? How are you? I'm doing great, buddy. How are you doing? Yeah. Let's go out to Chris Cole. Baker has an oblique and a left knee injury. His left knee is his plant leg. That's why he's been off. There you go. Makes sense. All right, we read that one. I will try. They let him score on purpose. David says, I agree with JP. We need to bring in an edge rusher, linebacker, guard. And if Godwin is going to be out for a long period of time, even a wide receiver, I like to see us at least do something with those positions. But the problem is that if you do with something with all those positions, you're going to have to trade away picks. And more than likely, Jason Light, if you look at his history, has not done that. So I don't expect it. All right, we will definitely do that. I agree, Harry. Joshua says, I don't see the federal government getting involved in the NFL. It goes anywhere good. Kenneth Mobley says they suspended a ref for a year in college, as they should. Funny how the Luka trade happened. Now LeBron heard at the beginning of the scandal, but his information was leaked to bettors as well. Chris Cole says the NFL needs to simply simplify the rules for the refs or hire them full time. Makes lots of sense. Come on, Greek. You can't jump on a dude back before the ball has even made it to the receiver. Bad take. I thought the same thing. But again, we talked about it, man. BS. It wasn't nothing but a 9 route. Baker put Mike in a bad spot on that throw. David says, I agree with you, Harry. Evans should have never been going on a go right, specifically coming off a hamstring. But he was ready to go. He was ready to play. Enough with he shouldn't have been on the 9 route. That's what they do. They take advantage of Evans and his separation on that 9 route. We've seen it plenty of times. We got to stop this. This guy shouldn't have been here. This guy shouldn't have been there. Let's trust the fact that the Bucs and their medical staff knows what the hell they're doing. Come on, man. A 9 route, this, that, and the other thing. Do we want to just bubble wrap them? Did we want to bubble wrap them into the bye week? I mean, could you do that? I guess you could. I mean, I don't understand it. I love the Greek. He's the best. Glad he's back. Thank you very much, Risa. Well, damn, what possessed you to call? That's just a 9 route. Also, they took away 2 days of practice plus the condition more than on the field conditioning. Like Coach K said, the best conditioning is practicing. Exactly. That right there is the comment of the night. Let's go, Bucs. Pound that rock. Pound that rock. Go, Bucs. I've been a diehard Bucs fan all my life. Good stuff there. Love it.
Wait up, little boy. Stop. Wait up.
Broadway says, let's go, Bucs. Let's go, Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Stop. Wait up.
Let's go, Bucs.
We got the job, baby.
Let's go, Bucs.
I got them Bucs, baby.
Let's go, Bucs. Broadway says, hey, Harry. Absolutely. David says, did you all like what Jason Light reposted of Cam Jordan? Absolutely. How could you not like what Jason Light posted about Cam Jordan when Cam Jordan was saying that the Bucs are just going to return to what they were, which is, once again, in first place, right? Cam Jordan was kind of right. Oh, wait, he didn't say that. He thought they were going to be in last place again. And once again, Cam Jordan.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Sucks. I think he said they would not be relevant anymore. Wrong. That would be Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan is not relevant at this point. The Bucs are absolutely relevant as they're looking like they're going to win the NFC South once again. 100% that was a penalty on Mike, but that's not what caused his injury. Hey, TJ, Joshua says Cam Jordan is dumpster juice. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Mike D. Roche. Stop the A stuff. You're in a mood today, Mike. Nelson saved the Bucs last year against the Panthers with a forced fumble and OT. Yes, Ed, go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead.
Discussion with him about the refs and stuff like that. And I get what he's saying. We won and we're 6-2. We, at least this time, it didn't hurt us. I kind of think, though, during the Eagles game, I think some of the calls might have hurt us. I don't know. I could be wrong. But
yeah, some of the calls did hurt you. Yes, the calls did hurt you in the Eagles game. The fumble shouldn't have been a fumble with Bucky Irving. Yes. There were a couple questionable calls. There's a couple questionable calls in every game. I get that. There's a questionable call in the Jets game. It shouldn't have been a touchdown by Alan Lazard. We can we could sit here and talk about it. It's not just the Bucs, it's across the league, but it's definitely affecting the Bucs. Yes, I agree with your point. I understand it.
And
yes.
I think that something needs to be done. Whether or not it'll happen or not, I don't know. But if I will say this, there are already people who think like my best friend, for instance, he will never watch another NFL game again because he believes it's rigged. He thinks it's just like wrestling.
Oh, you see that's there's no way he's not going to do that. There's like people saying I'm not going to watch the NFL because of the political protests and all this other nonsense. They're going to continue to watch the National Football League.
He doesn't like.
He's going to watch the NFL. He's going to say he's not going to watch the NFL. He's going to watch the NFL. He's going to tell you. He's going to put on. He's going to listen. I'm not going to get political about this, but anybody who says they don't do this and do that, they usually go back and watch the NFL. It's just nonsense. You don't have to say you're going to depart the National Football League or get on social media and say you're never going to watch the game again. Just don't do it. And more times than not, when people get on social media or they make a big stink about this or that and the other thing when it comes to the National Football League, or right back there on Thursday night, on Saturday night when it becomes Saturday night during the holidays, Sundays, Mondays, whenever they're watching the National Football League. So I don't believe any of that nonsense at all. Don't believe anybody who's an NFL fan that stops watching the game just because of that nonsense. You stop watching the game.
You're right. I hope he comes back and watch
I'm
football
definitely
with me
right.
because we have
I'm
a good
definitely
time.
right. He probably watches it. He probably doesn't watch it with you. Probably watches it in secret. That's what it comes down to. It probably does.
Crazy.
Everybody's like, well, I'm not going to watch the halftime show. Oh, you're going to watch the Super Bowl, right? Who cares? You're probably going to watch it too. You're probably going to watch it because your girlfriend watches it or your wife makes you want to watch it. Enough with the nonsense of I'm not going to watch this anymore. I'm not going to do that. Like, take your ball and go home. Like, what kind of attitude is that? Like, no NFL fan is like that at all. None. Nobody's going to stop watching the National Football League. The ratings are all-time high. It's a right, and what goes on in wrestling. People don't agree with some of the things that go on in wrestling. People don't agree with this. People don't agree with that. The ratings are still there. Any way it goes, always there. So it's all nonsense. Like it's a multi-billion-dollar revenue business. The NFL is America's game. Nobody's going to stop watching it. The NFL, they're just come on, no, I don't believe it.
I hear you.
I don't believe it.
I'm really proud of Anthony Nelson. He had a great game, probably the best game he's played, and I hope he earned himself some more playing time because I think he deserves it.
I think he's going to be a starter going forward until Hassan Reddick comes back from injury, and then you're going to have a decision to make to see if Reddick is going to earn his starting spot back. But Nelson definitely has a great opportunity to earn that starting job and be productive. And listen, as much as I want to trade for an edge, and I still think there is a possibility they may do that, I have a sneaking suspicion because of what Nelson did and what the defense did. They were kind of trying to tell Jason Light, you know what? We're good here. We got this. We don't need any help at this point. Does that make sense?
It does. But I think if you're all in for a Super Bowl, you got to get somebody.
Well, maybe you don't have to get anybody. Maybe you don't have to get anybody. Maybe you have what you have on this team. I'm all about, going in and making moves, but if it's going to cost you multiple first-round picks, I don't know if that's a move that's going to be made. I understand it. I get the emphasis on wanting to do it and wanting to improve and go for it, but maybe they feel like they have enough here. Does that always work out? It doesn't. It's a risk. It's definitely a risk. We'll see what Jason Light does, but if history tells us anything, it tells us that Jason Light's not going to do it. He's going to stick with what he's got. And if he does do something, it's not going to be a major move. Like he said, it'll be for depth purposes. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
All right,
I think they should do something for depth, definitely. But yeah, okay. Have a good night, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't believe any of that nonsense. I'm going to stop watching this because they're kneeling. I'm going to stop watching this because they're doing this and stop watching that. It's garbage. That's all for attention. That's all it is. Like if you ever hear me say I'm not going to watch the NFL anymore, just say I'm a liar. Just call me a liar. Just say you're a liar. There's no way you're going to stop watching the National Football League. Never. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. And it's so annoying. That is the most annoying thing you could put on social media. I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to watch that because I don't agree with it. Like, come on, man. Like there's an exchange of different ideas. Like if you don't agree with me and you stop watching the show because you don't agree with it, you're going to miss out. Because eventually you're going to agree with something I have to say, or I'm going to agree with something you have to say. We do too much of that these days. We really do. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. Get the hell out of here. But don't leave. Don't leave the sports web. All right, Broadway. Welcome to the evolution.
Definitely don't leave the sports web.
That's right. There you go. All right. What's on your mind, boss?
I wanted to bring some positivity.
We're not positive tonight. I'm not positive enough for you tonight. All right, go ahead. Bring me some positivity here, Broadway.
I think we should stay with the picks we have and keep the money we have and wait till next year.
Well, what if you fall short? Are you okay with that? Falling short and not making a move?
The only thing I think we need is an edge rusher.
Okay. So who would you like to get? Who would you like to get at this point for edge rusher?
That's a tough question. Because the edge rusher that I want is a top player.
And that would be what? Max Crosby?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get him, but it's wishful thinking.
We're not. And I don't think we need to spend the money to get Max Crosby.
I'd love to have Max Crosby. Max Crosby would be the perfect candidate. He'd be better than Trey Hendrickson because he's younger, but you're going to have to give up multiple first-round picks, and you're going to have to pay him. And can the Bucs do that? Most likely they're not going to, and they're not going to pay him. But it would be a perfect trade. I just don't see it happening.
But I also think if these players come back that are injured, like Jalen McMillan and others, that we're going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we do have a shot at the Super Bowl. Call me crazy, call me optimistic. I think we still have a shot.
I definitely think I agree with you on that. They definitely got to get healthy, though. So they have a shot, though. Absolutely.
Yeah, they definitely got to get healthy. And my favorite candy is Reese's.
There you go. We were asking tonight. It's a Halloween. What's your favorite candy? What's your favorite Halloween movie? I'm throwing it out there. So Reese's Pieces. All right. Good stuff, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for participating.
Thank you.
Yes.
And always go Sports Web and go Bucs.
All right. He says it. Go Bucs. So let's go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up. We got the job, baby.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Fire the cannon.
All right, open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. So somebody participated tonight. They were thinking Halloween. Hopefully the Bucs defense after the bye week doesn't dress up as a ghost against the New England Patriots, who are coming in at 6-2, have an opportunity to be 7-2 as they play the Atlanta Falcons.
That's clearing up the suck right there.
So if the Falcons want to do us a favor here, it would be nice if they would. Could you beat the Patriots? That would be great. Nelson saved the Bucs last year against the Panthers with the forced fumble and OT. Correct, Jim. Jordan says that load management isn't necessary at all. Tom Banner says Harold. Mike D. Rose says Principal Goodman. Principal Woodman says Tom Banner. Beautiful mother right here. Thank you very much for tuning in, watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web with Harry and TJ. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
Yeah!
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
It is exciting, Todd. All right, let's go out to a YouTube super chat. Thank you very much for that. If you like the content, give to the content there. $4.99 right there. Heavy hangers. Hassan Reddick, Chris Braswell, Logan Hall, Yaya Diaby can't even sniff the quarterback pads at times. Jason should make a trade. Get Vita some help. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate the YouTube super chat. Definitely the casino. They know the money line to exact margin. Go Gators. Go Gators. Okay. I'm not Lee, Bill, and Carolina were good. Yes, they do. Damn, the Dodgers kept Blake Snell in the game till the 7th while giving up 3 runs. Kevin Cash would have yanked him out already. Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
They would have. Let's go out to Jim.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you?
Using your second call. Go ahead, my friend.
What's going on? Let's try to get my good, bad, and ugly, man.
Get the good, bad, and ugly out of the way. Let's hear it, man.
All right, let's go with good. We go good first. Good. Casey Phillips sat down with Mecca Ibuka to talk about the rivalry between the Saints and the Buccaneers, and he was like, man, he had one of the biggest rivalries in college, Ohio State and Michigan.
Sure, absolutely.
So he was comparing that to what was going on with the Saints and the Bucs.
Right.
He said that he liked the game and he liked, the energy and all that. And he said Casey Phillips actually asked him, "Would you start a fight?" And he was like, "No, I don't start fights." So
there you go.
That's the politically correct.
Well,
answer.
that's a good kid in the first place because Abuka is a good kid.
He
He's the
got
real
his head
deal. They got a great character guy there, a good character player. He even stood over Mike Evans, praying for Mike Evans when Mike Evans got hurt. So he is the real deal at this point. He's everything is advertised. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a good man. That's another Mike Evans. Hopefully.
Well, that's the reason why you draft him. Absolutely. Correct.
Yeah, it was a great draft pick, man. I love our team and our draft picks. So I think ugly. We're gonna go ugly. We're gonna go these we had Cam Newton fighting a mascot on ESPN. And then we got Scatterboo. It broke his leg.
That was bad, and that could be ugly, but that was bad for the Giants because that could have been a building block. So he gets hurt, and then I didn't hear about this Cam Newton fighting a mascot nonsense. What happened with that?
So he was on ESPN. I guess they were, traveling for ESPN. Him and what's the big wig's name? What's the top announcer for ESPN now? What's his name?
Scott Van Pelt.
No, the black one.
No idea. Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. Him and Stephen A. Smith was on somebody's campus, and he was fighting somebody's bulldog. You had to ask the webheads. I can't remember.
Was that real? Or was that staged?
No, it was a college campus. They were live on college campus, and it might have been an SBCU because. It's Stephen A. Smith's bigs on SPCU, it's black colleges. So, and I don't know, I guess they were talking and he got these hats. Cam Newton got these hats that he loves fashion.
Yes.
So I guess the mascot knocked his hat off. And,
good.
Yeah. old Cam Newton got a little serious. So it's all over the internet if you look it up. And
I think it was staged, but I will definitely do that, my friend.
Well, hopefully it was staged, but he was talking about it on his little show, so maybe it was some money stage stuff. But you never know.
Well, so you definitely never know.
We're gonna move these damn refs to the ugly.
Okay.
Man, if the NFL don't do nothing about these refs, they're gonna start losing money. I don't like to lose revenue, but
yeah,
at least make an announcement. We talk to them. If you don't do anything, because these tickets ain't cheap.
No, they're definitely not cheap, Jim.
For a preseason game,
yes,
it cost me $400 for a preseason game for 4 tickets. So I know regular season tickets cost even more. So
absolutely.
So man, that's all I got, man. I love your show.
Thank you. Thank you, man. You had the good, bad, and ugly. You had Cam Newton in there. You had the refs in there. You had Cam Scatterboo in there. Good stuff, Jim. Jim's getting good at this. Adam. I've seen somebody call here, so let's see who is calling. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on the Sports Web.
Peter, Jeremy, how you doing?
What's going on, Jeremy? Your thoughts on the Bucs being 6-2 at this point?
Well, it's a first in the top bowls era because usually we go under 500, so that's pretty nice feeling, being a Bucs fan.
Yep.
Especially being way above, 500 for one thing. Sadly, injury bug has been worse than ever. Unfortunately, some of the players we've lost. Hopefully, we'll get some of them back. Come out to the bye week, but it's going to be a Bucs fan. I mean, division, we got the lead right now. A heavy lead, if you ask me, by that because our division's so weak. With all the other teams losing the way they did.
Yes, especially Atlanta losing to the Miami Dolphins, which could be the worst team in the National Football League, not named the Jets or the New Orleans Saints. Yes, absolutely.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, not only they lost, they got pounded.
Yes.
Pounded.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
By the Dolphins. Pounded.
Yes.
And then on to the Panthers. Pounded.
Pounded like a raw steak.
I'm telling you, man. They're both get pounded at home.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore when it comes to those teams.
Atrocious, awful. Let's see. Asinine. What's the other A word we can use here? Abominable. Let's see. That's it. I'm out of A's at this point. We could go to B's. Bad.
No, just bad, straight up stink, man.
Stink. Absolutely stink.
Stinky. But I will say this though, Peter.
Yes.
I was on Buccaneers earlier. We did a live show a couple hours ago, and we were talking about, if the Bucs were going to make a move at the trade deadline, and what would be the position we would go for, right?
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
And I know I'm a little late to the show. Please don't burn me too much on that. But anyway,
it's all right.
I will say I said in the show, depending on the injuries of Chris Godwin, McMullen, obviously McMillan's not going to be bad until probably playoff time at this point with the neck brace on his neck, still from what Bowles mentioned last week. And then Godwin, we don't know what's going on with him. I know they said fibula, but we really don't have a determination when he's going to be back.
Mm-hmm.
I said receiver or linebacker at this point. I know we said edge rusher. Edge could be another thing too, but obviously we're not going to be doing blockbuster trade. And no Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, or what's the other one that we're talking about? Trey Henderson. That's not going to happen. We already know that Light's not going to give up multiple draft picks.
Well, Trey's hurt right now. He's got a hip injury, so I don't know if you even want to trade for him. I don't know what his trade value at this point is, but the Bengals clearly are out of it. So I don't think they're going to trade him. He has got no trade value. So that would have been the guy. Max Crosby, you can't pay him. They're not going to give him away. I get it. Jason Line has a relationship with John Spytek, but Crosby is a building block. You're not ready to give up that building block. And if you do, you're going to give up multiple first-round picks for him along with players. That's just not going to happen. I don't see it.
No, and I agree. To me, I'm fine with the defensive roster we've had. If people really pay attention to the stats, we're pretty much in the top 10 when it comes to pressures on the quarterback. So I don't see why we would not make a move on an edge rusher, if you ask me. To me, you got to go inside linebacker on defense to kind of help rotate with Vasi Dennis and Levante David on the pass coverage, I feel. But I will go back to receiver, depending on injury. If we're ever going to see Godwin back on the field again, I don't know. If we don't, that'd be something, not a blockbuster, not a big-time receiver, but like a vet that can kind of help the receiving room a little bit. Because if you watch the Saints game, even though Tez did make a good couple of plays, but nobody was getting open. And the line has been pretty beat up as well.
Yep. And Tristan Wirfs had one of his worst games. And by the way, that happens sometimes, even with the best tackle, but he's been beat up. The offensive line has been reshuffled. It has to improve. Again, it's coming at the perfect time to have this bye week so these guys can get healthy, especially on the offensive line.
But I will say this, Peter. We can agree or disagree on this.
Yep.
You and I both know, and most Bucs fans know, Barton has been kind of struggling.
Yep.
At center. How would you feel if they moved him to guard and put Bredesen at center, who did pretty well? Would that be realistic? Because to me, I feel when Cody Ma went down, I feel that's when Grant Barton wasn't the same when he went back to center, because he was so used to Cody Ma to help him to where he can, do his thing at center.
Right.
But obviously, Ma's not going to be back at all. He's gone for the season. I mean, we're on our, fifth right guard, for the most part.
It's been tough. It's been tough. But with the injuries and the reshuffling, everything like that, I don't know. I like Graham Barton. I like Graham Barton last year, but he's definitely kind of taking a step back, whether, again, it's the reshuffling of the offensive lines, playing multiple positions. He's beat up. I don't know what it is, but it has not been good, especially in that interior line. And listen, we know that you can't allow that interior pressure to get in Baker Mayfield's face because already he's banged up. So I would not rule it out. This team, who knows what they're going to do. Maybe they have a plan going forward. Maybe they'll just stick with what they have. You get the right tackle back in Luke Gedeke. That will help you out. But I'll never rule anything out of change of positions or, because this team, they want to give themselves the best chance to win. And if that gives them the best chance to win, to move, Graham Barton out of the center position, move him to the guard position, maybe that's what they do. But I don't know if I see that at this point, but I'll never rule it out because of what we saw this year and the reshuffling of the offensive line. We didn't even know they were going to reshuffle the offensive line until game time. So I definitely wouldn't rule it out.
No, and I wouldn't either. I would agree 100%. But I do agree with Gedeke. Hopefully he'll be back into the bye week. Put him back at right tackle to kind of, rehinge some of our offensive line. The right guard. Someone mentioned a trade for a right guard, but at this point, to me, it's gonna be hard to find one to get a trade partner to do that. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So obviously, you got Michael Jordan, Luke Haggard. Klein. He's another one. It's hard to really pick one because Michael Jordan hasn't been really well at right guard. He did good at the left guard position, but right guard he don't look so good. So I don't even know how to really put that out there for him.
Yeah.
But to me, if you get Luke Gedeke back, that's going to resolve a lot of things. I feel like at right tackle, of course he might be a little rusty. And we'll go back to Tristan Wirfs. He's due for a bad game. I mean, eventually he's going to have a bad game. We all know it's coming. And to me, I'm not going to take that as bad. To me, he's going to have that one bad game. Hopefully that's it, and we'll move on. He's back to where he was before.
Hopefully he's healthy. I don't know if he's healthy or not. But again, I just trust the Bucs and their organization and their medical staff. They're not going to put out injured players, but we'll see. We'll see how it. But you definitely need him to solidify that line, and it's been tough to watch the line at points because you've had pressure get in Baker's face, and you see a totally different offense. And again, it goes back to what we talk about, right? You have to protect your quarterback. You have to at least give him 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball. And if you can do that, great things can happen. And then furthermore, Baker, he's dealing with an oblique injury. He's dealing with a knee injury at this point. So he's not 100%. So again, just everybody's got to get rest. They're coming in a good situation, but this offense has to perform better than what they've done the last 2 games. Anything else, Jeremy?
I will say this is gonna be a tough stretch in the next 3 games between Patriots, who are actually really good all of a sudden, with Mike Vrabel taking over.
Yep.
Going to Buffalo, and then you go to LA. To me, that's another thing we discussed on Buccaneers. What's the realistic, what's our projection? Me, I said best case scenario 1 and 2. You go and beat the Rams. I'd rather lose to the 2 AFC teams, but 2 out of the 3 would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you never know. I mean, they surprised us with the 3-game stretch with, Seattle, the 49ers.
I think
Detroit.
you go 2-1. I think it's certainly possible to go 2-1, beat the Patriots, and then certainly, Buffalo will be tough, but I think they're a beatable team. The Rams are always the team that gives the Bucs problems, and they continue to give the Bucs problems. History goes. So that could be a loss. That could definitely be a loss. But, maybe Buffalo's – I don't know. We'll see. But that's definitely a tough stretch. And then you can't forget about Arizona in there also.
No, and you can't look past that. 1 game at a time. I get that.
Yep.
But at the same time, you can't look past the Patriots, like it or not. They're a team that's definitely a lot better than they were the last few years, if you want to be honest. To me, they got actually legit defense, and May's playing really well. Some say MVP, but I'm not going that far. But to me, they're a team you can't look past. I feel they're a team you're going to take seriously. Hopefully you get Gedeke, maybe Bucky or Godwin back, 1 of the 2. I'll take it. But Gedeke is an important one. Like you said, we got to protect Baker, keep on his feet, and be able to run the ball like we did last year. Get it rolling. I know Grizzard didn't have his best game this past Sunday, but you know what? We got a whole season to go. Want to know how good he really is come down the stretch, I feel. He's another offensive coordinator in the fly, still learning, to call the plays. You can't really put a lot on him. Yeah, our expectations is, he needs to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be great right away. Sometimes he's going to have his flaws to where he can either recover and get better, which I think most of us think he can, or he'll flop. We'll see what happens. But I'm confident that this team will get back on track, especially with our division being down to where I feel like we can clinch this division by at least week 15 or 16 at best.
Well, you should. You should definitely do that. Great stuff as always, man. Appreciate your call, and keep on doing that podcast, my friend, all right?
Yes, sir. Take care, Peter. Go Bucs.
All right. Go Bucs. Absolutely. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
Yeah! We got the dub, baby!
All right, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Van Houselight, Bucs will win the bye week. Matthew says, if it was a touchdown, then everyone would be singing a different tune. Joshua says, people that cry about it usually weren't going to watch either way, or they're just full of, like you said, they watch anyway. They do. I thought Nelson would be doing what he did last week all season. Now they won't watch you, Pete. Ha, ha, ha. As they tune in. Yeah, exactly. Play Blues Wolf. The Bucs are on pace for 50 sacks. They rank 3rd in the league. That is correct.
Oh, yeah.
David says you can go back and look throughout your shows. I've been saying Nelson should be started for like the last 4 years. And you know what, David? I remember this. You did say that. He's always had a high motor, so I definitely will give you credit on that, my friend. Let's go out to Adam. Adam, welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, Peter. How you doing?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to all the stuff going on that we've been talking about next week. But I want to talk about the Bucs right now. And by the way, you hit the nail so much on the head. All these folks that talk about, oh, there was this at the game, there was this at the game, and I'm not going to ever watch again. That you hit it right on the head.
Yes.
You know, if you're a true fan, the only time that happened to me, you know, growing up, I was a New York Mets fan, and baseball was it for me. But the whole, ruining the All-Star game thing with the World Series thing, and then the whole steroid thing that should never have ever happened. The owners should have nipped that in the bud 30 years ago. Baseball is not my number one sport anymore, but it's because of the game. It's not because of any kind of outside influence. You know what I'm saying, Peter?
I'll give you one specific year I didn't watch the Super Bowl, and it was one of the most exciting Super Bowls of all time. I watched the highlights. I didn't watch the whole thing like I usually do. It was in 1999 and 2000 when that heartbreaking loss to the Bucs, with the Bucs and the Rams in the NFC Championship game.
Took the Burt Emanuel catch that they took away from us.
I did not watch that Super Bowl. I did not.
Yep.
I watched the highlights of it. I think I saw the last play of it, but I did not watch it like I usually do. That was the only year, and I felt bad
that was Rams Titans, right?
That is correct. Yes, Rams Titans, and I felt bad about it. I'll never do that again. Never.
Yep.
Always watch the Super Bowl, no matter who's in it.
So I'm gonna go take a left turn with you, because I think the issue of trades and refs, and to me that's old business, because we won the game as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, fair enough.
Gonna talk with you about a wholly different subject that really is irking me. So I'm gonna tell you what I think, and I'm gonna let you tell me what you think. As far as I'm concerned, we manhandled the Saints this weekend.
Correct.
Defense was on point. We almost got a shutout. Offense was, and I hear it. I understand. We love our offense, but
banged up.
we had an almost unblemished game other than our turnover. We didn't give away the game from our offense, which we've done so many times in the past. So, you're going to have sometimes a game where your offense isn't on all cylinders. Baker's injured. The whole offense is injured. I'm okay with not only that, it wasn't, was something that we had to have Baker being a hero in the last 2 minutes. We didn't have to worry about that.
Nope.
So what I don't understand, is, to me, I don't feel like we lost any consideration as for where we are in the NFL as far as our standing is concerned, because we didn't win 45 to 10 like the Bills did. I don't understand the perception nationally is because it was only against a divisional opponent, and it only was an almost 20-point victory, that we didn't boat race them, that there are some national pundits who have actually dropped us down in their football
polls. That's what they do. That's what they do.
I don't understand it, Peter.
That's what they do. That's all. That's what they always do against Tampa Bay sports. So we've been.
Oh, you think there's a bias against us? Is that
I've always thought there was a bias against it. It's not a big city. It's the Bucs have a losing history, so people always equate that. Even though you win, NFC South championship after NFC South championship, they will sit there and say, well, it's the worst division of football. You still have to win a division. It don't matter. Yes. You still got to win that division. There's still competitive teams there. Is it a weaker division? Yeah, but so is was the AFC South. That's a weak division. Besides
I remember
the Colts at this point.
when Tom Brady took us to the Super Bowl, right? Every single step in the way, they kept saying, "Oh, well, Washington didn't have, a great quarterback," and then we totally ruined Drew Brees' last game as a pro by intercepting him like what it felt like 9 times, and then Aaron Rodgers with all those fans in the stadium clapping those whatever boards the whole game, which was totally weird, but we were able to get past that point because we were so far ahead of them they couldn't catch up. And then we get to the Super Bowl, and it's the first ever home Super Bowl game, and we're still the Chiefs. Forgive me if I'm not wrong, but we're like favored by like 10 points. Am I wrong?
Something along the lines of this, yeah, something like that, yeah, at the time.
And then what it was just like our other Super Bowl victory. We won the game from our defense. It wasn't because of our offense. Our defense held Patrick Mahomes in check, and so again, I just that's what I wanted to mostly call about is that this is just total disrespect as far as you're saying it's not news. I get that.
Well, I mean,
but,
it's not news because they've done it before. And then there's also, there's some biases out there. Again, you don't like Tampa. There's a history there. You don't like Baker Mayfield. You don't like Todd Bowles. This team can only go so far. It's always the talking points that push people's buttons. It's sometimes
it's just lazy, like this year the Colts are being disrespected. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, they haven't beat anybody." Same kind of situation. They're a great team this year.
They are a great team this year, and it's because of Daniel Jones. It's because of Jonathan Taylor.
But
what you are here the majority of the time is how the woman, the woman owner is on the sidelines there. Okay, great. That's unbelievable. She's listening, but it's not the main reason why that team is great. Maybe it's a part of it.
No.
But it's also Daniel Jones and the renaissance of what he's doing right now for the offense. It's Jonathan Taylor finally being healthy at this point. It's having those weapons coming together. The coaching is better.
Peter, if I had told you for our team that we had the number of injuries that we have had this season, and I told you this by our bye that we have had all of these starters out, and I told you this back in July, how many games do you think you would have said that we would be at right now?
I think they would probably got off to a slow. They probably would have got off to a slow start. It'd probably be 4-4 or something along those lines. But then again,
I think that we would have. Nobody, even fans of the Bucs, would have said maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 at the most, not 6 and 2.
It would have been the sky is falling, like a lot of Bucs fans think it is always falling with a couple losses.
So tribute to Jason Light for getting superior backup for our starters, number one. Tribute to Todd Bowles. Both of those should be candidates for exec and coach of the season, no matter what happens to the Bucs for the rest of the season. But I believe we will win the next 3 games. We will.
Well, I think it's certainly possible. I mean, again, the Patriots, I know they're coming in high and they've got a new coach and they're playing with a good, young quarterback there, but I think the veteran leadership here for this team to get healthy, being the Bucs after the bye week, that's an advantage having them at home. And then furthermore,
I think we are more consistent than Buffalo is, and that gives us a chance. And I don't think the Rams are as good this year as they have been in past years. That's why I feel the way that it's not because I'm just a Bucs fan. It's I'm just going off of the
certainly all winnable games at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, Peter, thank you for letting me on. Okay.
All right, man. I appreciate you. How's your health? Your health good?
My health is good. I'm now at 90 pounds for 2025.
All right,
Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome. It's a healthy 90 pounds, right? That 90
well,
pounds.
Of course. I'm now walking about almost 3 miles a day. Isn't that great?
Congratulations, my friend. Good for you.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you soon on the Evolution. All right.
All right. Have a great night.
All right. Good stuff there. Sun Devil Dave, I see you called. Open phone line. We'll go over 2 hours tonight. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. We'll read the rest of these comments. We'll see if we get any phone calls, and if we don't, then we'll just end off the show. Let's see here. I thought Nelson would be doing what he did last week. I think that's a good comment. I'm going to go back to Dave. You've said that for the last 4 years. I would definitely give you credit for that, my friend. Van House, like my favorite Halloween movie. Okay. Why am I reading this from this guy? Seriously.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Favorite Halloween candy, favorite Halloween movie. Please, just don't be like an idiot. Thank you, Cam. Just got a chance to tune in. How's Harry Berg doing? Good. I hope he came back tonight. He's doing well. He's got to get some rest. Bye week can't come soon enough for him. Also, got to take care of you got to take care of your body sometimes. You know, when you try to burn it at both ends, I'm guilty of it. You know, you're working 3 jobs. You're doing this during the day where you're doing, selling insurance quotes, which I absolutely love. I'm killing it right now. You do the show. You do some Uber. You try to sleep. You don't sleep enough. Your body runs down, especially when you get older. I'm getting older. Father time is undefeated. So, again, just a PSA to people watching this show, whether you're young or old, take care of your body because it's the only body you got, and take care of yourself and, maybe stop trying to burn it at both ends. I don't know if I'll take that advice because I'll continue to do what I'm doing here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television, but I will certainly try. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. What's up, Peter? What's going on, Tim?
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts maybe getting Thibodeau from Miami, even though Jason doesn't do mid-season moves? I'm going to get a little crazy here. How about Miles? He wants out of Cleveland. He wanted out of Cleveland during the season. Before the season, he took the big-time contract. So I don't believe anything he has to say. He probably wants a contract extension or something like that. I think you're talking about from the Giants, not Miami. You're also talking about Chubb, who's been in the conversation at this point. I would be okay with it. I mean, just again, what are you giving up? How much money are you going to pay? There's been talk of the wide receiver from Jacksonville. We're going to get to that. I think that's nonsensical. Who takes the series? Looks like right now it's going to be the Blue Jays. They clearly have the momentum. We'll get back to that in a moment, Joshua. Thank you very much for the comment. Let's go out to Sun Devil Dave. Sun Devil, what's on your mind tonight? Welcome to the Evolution.
Great job as always. Thank you for wasting my time. Goodbye forever.
There you go. That's how we start off the show. Yes, go ahead.
I just I need to get some honest advice from you.
All right, honest advice.
Totally transparent. Okay.
A lot of honest advice from everybody or questions tonight. So go ahead. I'm open.
I want your honest opinion.
Yes.
At this point in time, the Bucs are 6-2.
Yes.
Do you feel the way this roster is assembled, the organization, coaching, everything with it, can the Buccaneers realistically win the Super Bowl for 2025 season? Yes.
Yes, I think they can. I do think they can. Would I like to see a couple moves? Yes, I kind of would like to see a couple moves. Yes, I would like to see.
So here's what I do.
Okay.
All this hee-haw. Look, I love Bowles and everyone behind the staff and the GM. Look, I love them to death. But it seems like every year they're always saying, well, we've got the men, we got personnel in place, we're happy with what we have. Meanwhile, I see teams like Steelers and Patriots and other teams, Chiefs, Ravens, they're all making moves, right?
Sure.
I think Steelers made a move. The Ravens, I think, made a move. Even the Bears had to make a move. They had to get a cornerback, I think, from I forgot who they got it from. They got a cornerback that used to be in Allen's system.
Yeah.
The DN. So anyways, what I'm saying is that
Gardner-Johnson, yes.
Right. So here's the bottom line. We need the best pass rusher, money goodbye, and we need the best receiver, money goodbye. Because you know what? I love Mike Evans. I love Godwin. But honestly, I don't trust him the rest of the season. I believe, as much as I love Mike Evans, that injury happened because he was favoring his hamstring.
Okay.
The way he landed. When you're favoring parts of the body that are injured, other injuries can happen, right?
Mm. I think it's I think it's unrelated. I don't think it's a hamstring.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, I just think it's
unrelated. The way he was trying to move his body, I think it looked like he was favoring.
No, he was
hamstring.
He was trying to catch a pass from Baker Mayfield, and again, I'll go back to it. I thought the defensive back, was all over him like a cheap suit.
Right. And
then the collision, of course, not only hitting the ground, which is cement,
yes,
and then on top concussion of it, hitting your shoulder, it could happen. I mean, you're very fortunate to not have more injuries like this in the National Football League, but you're going to continue to have more injuries like this because A, you don't have the practice time, and B, because players are getting stronger and faster. I think that's also the reality of the situation. Like people go, well, 20, 30 years ago. Well, 20, 30 years ago, guys weren't as fast, right? They weren't as strong, maybe. I'm not saying they weren't, but it, it's evolution, right? We evolve on this show. You evolve in the league. So I think, more injuries like this could happen in the future. So, yeah.
And speaking of that injury, another thing you have to factor in is that, God, can we just get rid of all this artificial turf? Do you think that injury would have happened on natural grass?
I mean, I think it's a great point. I think we always talk about it every year. Like, when did they
Just
get rid of the artificial
turf?
Why do they have it? Who's saving money? Why do we do that? Why is it going on still? Why do you have that in New Jersey?
It's concrete.
Right. I don't understand
It's ridiculous. So
I don't get it.
I just think that I think they need to just, like you said, you're at the poker table. You just put all your chips in. I still think. What do you think about DT Simmons and then maybe even Shaheed from the Saints? Or there's rumors about the kid from Jacksonville, Smith.
Yeah, I think I think that's nonsense because the Jaguars are still going to be in it.
Yeah, they're in playoffs.
He's a building block. Brian Thomas. I think that's who it's. I don't see that happening with the Bucs. I don't see it happening with the Jaguars because he's a building piece of what you're trying to put out there if you're a Jaguar, your organization with your coaching. So you're going to get rid of one of your youngest pieces? Nah, I don't believe that at all. And then Simmons would be great. I mean, he would be unbelievable. Put him and pair him with Vita Vea. But how much are you going to give up for him? How much are you going to pay him? That's what it comes down to. Will the Bucs do that? That would be a slam dunk for me. Simmons would be the guy
I would do it.
that nobody's talked about.
I just think that the Bucs organization needs to do what the Ravens, Patriots, the Chiefs, the Bills.
What the Rams did a couple years ago.
Teams.
Screw the picks.
Rams.
Screw your picks. I'm going to go for the Super Bowl. I get that. But
let's do it. That's all I'm saying. That's my opinion. I think the Bucs should go all in. Let's get the best DT. Let's get the best receiver. I just don't trust Godwin and Evans for this playoff run. I just don't think they're going to be healthy to make it through. So I think we got to get one more receiver in DT. Let's throw the chips on there. Let's go all in. Throw everything but the kitchen sink. Give up a little bit of the future because I believe, like you said, if this team's assembled the way it is and the grit and fire of Mayfield and everyone else, this team has a chance to win a Super Bowl this year. So let's get to it. And Levante David, I think, moved up to number 4 all time in tackles.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Did you see that?
He's amazing. I love
Beautiful,
Levante David. Love talking to him here on the Sports Web, and he's definitely a Hall of Famer in my book, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer,
Absolutely.
no doubt.
So let's get rested for this bye week, and let's just make sure that we get raring to go. I think they could take 2 out of 3. I think we beat the Patriots and we split. I think maybe we probably lose to the Bills, take the Rams. We're going to go 2-1.
I like
next
it.
3 weeks.
I like it. I think that's certainly possible. I definitely think you could, lose to the Bills or win against the Bills, win 2 in a row, and then you lose to the Rams because of, the West Coast struggles. But then again, the Bucs last year, they went on the road and beat the Chargers. So let's see. But it's always the Rams. I hate the Rams. I hate them with the passion. It's right up there with the Saints. There's a history there with the Rams, always. So
all right. And then I went ahead. I'm going to ask you for an IOU. I need about $900 so I could get 2 tickets to see the Patriots and the Bucs play for nosebleeds. It's like $450 a piece. Have you seen these tickets?
Yeah. Well, I got the IOU. It's from Dumb and Dumber. Remember they gave the 3,000 IOU. You better hold on to that.
You might want to hang on that one for the Lamborghini. That's pretty important.
That's pretty important right there. IOUs. Yeah, they blew all the money.
Hey,
yeah.
Great job tonight.
Thank you.
No, are we doing any wrestle talk? Probably not.
We have not done wrestle talk in a while, but there was a teaser out there. It looks like it's Brock Lesnar. I don't know at this point. Everybody's saying it's Chris Jericho. He's going to sign with WWE. I think it's Brock Lesnar. I don't know where WWE is going right now. They're all over the place.
Yeah,
it looks like Cody's about to turn heel because he attacked Jay. That's what I'm getting out of this. They're kind of doing the other storyline, which they've done a couple times now. It seems like Cody's going to turn heel. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it certainly looks like it.
We got Card Hill. Got a pretty good card for Saturday night main event.
She just turned heel. She just turned on Tiffany Stratton. You got Saturday night main event. So yeah, there's plenty of things to talk about. So maybe we'll talk about more next week.
We'll do it next week.
Yes.
So I want you to have a great rest of the week. Let's heal up. Bucs, go heal up. We'll see what happens with the my Bears on Sunday. They got to play the Bengals. You have two brutal defenses going at it. So probably want to take the over in that game.
Yeah, that should be a win against old ass Joe Flacco. Yeah, it should be a win.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So have a great rest of the week and great job as always. Okay, man. Thank you for wasting my time. Goodbye forever. All right.
There you go. Good stuff. That's how you end the show right there. So to go back to this, I certainly think it's possible, maybe from the Giants if they're ready. Kayvon Thibodeau, I think that's who you're talking about. Who takes the series? Looks like again 6-1. Last time I checked with the Blue Jays, certainly have all the momentum at this point, and that's crazy to think because the Dodgers have spent $500 million on their roster. You have the best player in the game in Shohei Ohtani, and you may lose to a hot Blue Jays team that's right now it's got all the momentum. Looks like so that's crazy. Dave says any word on Bucky because the Bucs act like he's not going to be back even after the bye week. I'm not sure. It's certainly you hope, you would think that he would be back, but I'm not sure at this juncture. So it could be a knee, could be a foot. We heard it was a foot. How long is that foot going to be? He's missed quite a bit of games here lately. So you would think, again, that he would come back after the bye week. So no official word yet on that. I used to argue with the guy who wants to know what he had for dinner last night all the time. That Nelson should start over Nassib and Barrett. Well, Barrett, I like Shaq Barrett. Nassib, I definitely think Nelson was a lot better than Nassib at the time, and I know what you're talking about, so we'll just keep it at that. The mascot tried to steal Cam Newton's hat, so he slapped the mascot. That's funny. Scott Broadway says, hey, Ray, Jim is on fire today. Definitely. Morris will be fired at the end of the season, especially if the Bucs sweep them this year. Win the division. Agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Dave says also the Falcons are wasting Bijan Robinson. They don't know how to use him. They don't. Chris Cole says Dodgers choking at home. You got to love that. I wish the clickbait would stop with the BTJ trade to the Bucs. Would stop popping up on my feed. That's not happening. The Jags aren't trading him. They're not. It's those nonsensical Facebook sites. Block them, report them, get them off the feed because they're reporting all kinds of fake news. Evening, Peter and crew. Glad we made it to the bye week, and let's get healthy for the Patriots. Also, favorite candy is Twix and Sweet Tarts. Favorite movie is Nightmare on Elm Street. Thank you for participating. I agree. And I definitely think Nightmare on Elm Street, whether it's 1, not 2, 3, 4, 5, I thought they were all good Halloween movies there. And, of course, Jason, they've kind of run its course. But those are the favorite movies of Halloween, in my opinion. And then a Scream. I watched that tonight. And then favorite candy, it's always Snickers for me, no matter if it's Halloween or not. I love my Snickers. And you know what? Give me a break. I love that Kit Kat bar. So I like that, too. I haven't gone trick-or-treating. Anybody going trick? I'm not going trick-or-treating. I haven't gone trick-or-treating in a long time. But I'm very tempted to go down to like the dollar store the day before and get the candy half off. That is a deal right there. That is a jewel, ladies and gentlemen. That is a diabetes diet right there if you do that at the day after. The Bucs should handle the Bills. Allen has no wide receivers. True threat, the most dangerous player for the Bills is Cook. James Cook as the running back, absolutely. What about getting DT Simmons from the Titans? Shaheed, wide receiver from the Saints, definitely would be a wide receiver there. Not only special teams, but remember, the Bucs do have some wide receivers on this team. They have Ibuka. He'll get healthy. You've got Tez Johnson. He stepped up. You've got Sterling Shepard. You've got Cam Johnson. So they do have some weapons, and they would expect Chris Godwin Jr. to come back eventually, and he could definitely be an impact of this offense. The worst division in football right now is the NFC North or the AFC South. Exactly. It's a small market biased NFL corporate headquarters in New York, as well as the replay headquarters. Wink, wink. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to James Sutton. My crazy friend, he likes Pittsburgh Steelers. Ironically, he thinks the Bucs paid for all their Super Bowls because we got John Gruden the first one and then Tom Brady for the second one. They got Super Bowls. Who cares that they paid for it? Every team pays for it. They paid the right way. They not only got Tom Brady, they got Antonio Brown. They got Leonard Fournette. They got JPP. They got Shaq Barrett. They built the defense. All they had to do is solidify it with a quarterback, getting Gronkowski. Every team does it. The Rams did it. But there was nothing illegal about any of it. There was nothing illegal. Your friend is just a Bucs hater. That's all. Excuse me. AFC North, not the NFC North. Yeah, AFC North is pretty bad right now. Not very good. Just because the Pittsburgh Steelers don't spend any money, period, has nothing to do with the Buccaneers. James again, and I'm glad our fans of the Buccaneers that's quiet down about our head coach, Todd Bowles. Don't worry. They'll come back again if this team loses, because the Bucs win no matter what. Dave says, great to hear Harry is on the mend. Holly Wing Candy Snickers. Favorite Halloween candy. Favorite Halloween movie, Chucky. I had my buddy dog when I was young. There's nothing less Chucky when my dad was watching the movies. To my buddy in the hallway. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay. The first Chucky movie is called Child's Play. Yes. Dave, Turf needs to go for sure. Christopher Cole, speaking of wrestling, Jade has a nasty scar above her left eye from Nia Jax throwing her against the steps too hard. Yes, they were comparing her picture to what she looks like to Scar from The Lion King. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's pretty good. She turned heel the other night and just went absolutely crazy on Tiffany Stratton there on SmackDown. Was a defensive player, so I love the defensive side of the ball. I love that the Buccaneers focus on defense. James says, even though our offense has been doing good lately, Broadway says, correction, Peter, my favorite candy is Reese's, not Reese's Pieces. Thanks, laugh out loud. Love you, brother. Thank you for the show. Absolutely, my friend. Go out to Trevor here, edge rusher, and one more receiver for depth. Dave, OG Halloween is the best Halloween movie ever. Best candy is Snickers. Great minds think alike. Thank you, Dave. Snickers, agree. OG Halloween, and not the remake they did with Rob Zombie, although I like Rob Zombie, but the interpretation, no, you just do the original. Donald Pleasance, if you will, and then the other remakes they just did, especially the last one, just skip it because Tom Brady thought it sucked too.
That's great enough to suck right there.
Let's go out to George Guevara, 7760. I hate the Rams with a passion as well. I do, and like I said, I admitted to not watching that Super Bowl, which is probably one of the most exciting Super Bowls of all time. Steve Air McNair, and of course, I believe it was Dyson with the long return, and Jones stopping Dyson at the goal line just 1 yard short. Let's go out to Sean. Steelers have paid for that defense. It's the highest paid defense in the league. You got to pay for it. You gotta pay the money at this point. So we talked about Bradley Chubb. The other rumor that's been going around, we'll just throw this out there. According to Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox, he believes the Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be interested in tight end for the Baltimore Ravens, Mark Andrews. Andrews is 30 years old, will be a free agent in the spring. He's also been more of an ancillary target in Baltimore's offense than he's been in years past. Though his 6-catch, 91-yard, 2-touchdown game in Week 3 showed he can still get it done when needed. Andrews would probably only be interested in teams with realistic playoff aspirations, but he could be a solid contributor to a passing attack. Teams with a defensive piece or two could spare, probably jump in front of the line. Again, Seahawks and Bucs being rumored. I don't see it happening. I love Cade Otton. I understand where the connection is. I just don't see it. Trevor, welcome to the Evolution, my friend, here on the late night. Happy Hump Day edition on a victory Wednesday night. Yes, sir. What's up?
Well, I mean, the beauty about a bye week is at least for 1 week, I can turn my anxiety off. Don't have to worry about a game.
No anxiety, my friend.
But you know what, though? It does amaze me. Like, we got other teams, we got fans from other teams over in the chat, like, hating on us because, we paid for a few Super Bowls. Typically I would talk about the current season. But since we want to, since people want to be petty,
no, let's be petty.
Let's be petty. What I mean?
Let's be petty. Why not?
Look, it's not our fault that the Packers went to Heinz Field and kicked their ass.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You don't see us, on other chats when we lose games. You know what I mean? We lost to the Lions. We're not all poopy about it. You know what I'm saying? We just moved on to the next game. And,
correct.
move forward, and that's probably one of the reasons why we got a better record than the Steelers. But
there you go. And the Steelers are also an older team, and they have some major questions. And if you watch Aaron Rodgers the other night, he's one of the main questions. We talked about it. How many games would he be able to start, win, and finish? And maybe, again, Father Time is starting to catch up. And then on top of it, that defense has been a ghost this year. It has not been good. And, playing Casper the Ghost at this point.
I've always said that Jalen Ramsey, although I've always thought he was a talented player.
He's washed. I think he's washed. I think he's so washed.
I've always thought he was overrated. Everybody made him out to be like he was just so elite. And honestly, he's been cooked so many times that I would never have ever called him a lockdown corner, because there's been times, and even in his prime, it go back to wherever, whether it was Jacksonville, whether it was with the Rams or Miami, and obviously now Steelers.
Sure.
Where he's gotten cooked, and he got cooked pretty consistently.
Remember when Mike Evans did that in the divisional playoff game? Remember that?
Oh, absolutely. I was
that.
there at that game, and that was a prime, quote unquote, prime Jalen Ramsey, and Mike cooked him.
Yes.
I mean, like, okay, y'all want to play man coverage on Mike? Y'all got Ramsey, y'all quote unquote lockdown. Watch Mike Evans. He has the key to that lockdown, and he unlocked his ass. So, and then, and to the Steelers fan, I'm like, look, man, we bought our Super Bowls. I mean, what the hell y'all think y'all doing with Aaron Rodgers? Y'all trying to do a 2020.
They're trying to do the Broncos tried to do it. Of course, Matt Stafford and the Rams, they did well with it, buying their Super Bowl. I mean, everybody buys the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're using our motto, which we've, other teams have done it before us. With the Broncos, done it with Peyton Manning.
Right.
They got to one Super Bowl, lost it, then they was able to win it his last season. So I mean, it's just like you said, people do buy their Super Bowls. I mean, let's go back to like 1994, the 49ers, right? They had 2 years prior, the 92 NFC title game and 93 NFC title game.
I remember.
The Cowboys flat out owned them in both of those games, right? So what do? They say, hey, let's go get Ken Norton Jr. from the Dallas Cowboys, because he played for the Cowboys that was kicking the Niners' ass the 2 years prior.
Correct.
And then, oh, by the way, let's go get Deion Primetime Sanders.
Right.
You don't think those contributions made a difference to that 1994 49ers team?
Of course they did. Of course they did. They made a big time difference. Yes.
So every team does it, and they should do it. They should continue to do things like that. If you're trying to win a championship, that's what you do. I mean, to the Rams' credit, even though I'm not a Rams fan, hey, in 2021 they went and got Odell Beckham from the Browns.
Yep.
They
Von Miller.
got Von Miller from the Denver Broncos.
Right.
And they hoisted the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the season.
Which, by the way, they were the second team to win in their home stadium, not named Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay always will have that record, being the first team in NFL history to winning a Super Bowl. Never. They can never take it. They can try to take it away from us. People can say, well, it was a COVID Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. No, listen, it was a Super Bowl. They won it in their home stadium. They were the first team in NFL history to do it. Screw you. There you go.
There's a lot of teams that doesn't have a Super Bowl that wish they could have that quote unquote COVID Super Bowl. I mean,
of course.
So you can poo-poo on it all you want to, but
you can do that.
It doesn't say COVID Super Bowl.
I think JP has something to say about the haters. Haters want to be us because they ain't us.
F you, and F you. Peace out. I'm gonna go have a Guinness.
There you go.
That's right. And and in the words of TJ Rives, go away.
Go away. I got to get that. I got to get that soundbite from TJ. That's his intro at this point.
Yeah.
Go away. Yes.
I mean, the thing is this, I was listening to his podcast, yesterday.
Nothing but Bucs. Podcast. Is that not the best or what?
Yeah, I love that podcast. And one thing that he said that I absolutely loved is, the fact, with the Saints, how they dominated us in the 2010s. Really, our whole division dominated us in the 2010s, right?
Yep.
And now we're in the 2020s, and for the most part, we've dominated this decade, and we're here for it, baby. Hey, we're gonna talk our shit.
We love the smoke. That's what I would say. As the kids would
you know
say.
what I mean?
We love the smoke.
It's our turn now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And even if we got to talk trash to the non-divisional foes out there, apparently the Steelers fans.
Yes.
Hey, why don't y'all worry about the AFC North and see if y'all won't choke that away with Baltimore and Cincinnati and Cleveland,
yes.
For the most part, they should be in good shape to win that division because it's fairly weak. But enjoy that and stop being a hater. That's all I'm saying.
That's it. Stop being a hater. Be a congratulator, right? There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, rhyming here with Peter Blake on the Sports Web. You gotta love it.
Yeah, and just like and if he's going to be a part of this, it's just like you say, Peter. Bring the passion, bring the excitement, but definitely don't bring the nonsense. So,
that's what I'm talking about. Yes, Trevor. Good stuff. Anything else, my friend?
That's it. And go Bucs.
All right. Yes, that's how you end it off. He says, "Go Bucs, go Bucs."
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
We got the dub.
We got the dub, baby. Yeah! It's exciting.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Fire the cannon.
All right, we'll read the rest of these comments, and then we will wrap this up for the night. I'll try to be quiet because my roommates are probably sleeping, and they will probably get up and kill me. This will probably be a remake of Jason slash you like that? Michael Myers, Halloween, and Freddy Krueger, all in this house right now. If I don't shut up, so let's go ahead and read some of these comments, and then we will get out for the night. On point caller, Ramsey has always been overrated, even in his prime. I mean, his clothing was the same color as Chucky, overalls with a plaid-colored shirt. Gotcha. Sean says Ramsey's ass. Chase had burnt that whole Super Bowl. If it wasn't for Aaron Donald, the Rams would have lost to Chase alone. How he made Ramsey non-existent. Good stuff, Sean. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Falcons tried to buy a Super Bowl, but lost 28-3. Oops.
That's great enough to suck right there.
My favorite Halloween movie is Jason, and candy is peanut butter cups. Good stuff. Good choice. Get well to the IRS. Let's see. We are undefeated in Super Bowls, so suck it. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up. Yeah!
I think you're talking about Mike Rotunda, an IRS who is reportedly being had a major heart attack on September 20th, according to his daughter, Micah, who I went to broadcasting school with. So, yes, get well to him. Wrestling family, Hall of Famer, Mike Rotunda. Yes, WWE legend. Thank you very much. Jason or Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin. All right, good stuff. Jason or Charlie Brown. All right. Okay, good. You guys participated tonight. So good stuff there. Thanks a lot for all of you guys participating. Thanks a lot to all our guests tonight. Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. Welcome back, my friend. God bless you. Get better. We got a bye week, and then we'll be back at it next week. I promise, unless there is some breaking news, which you never know. If there is, we will go live here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Thanks to the media icon, Mr. TJ Rives of the Buccaneers Radio Network. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. YouTube Super Chats are open. Thank you for the YouTube Super Chats tonight. Do three things as we end it off here. Have a safe and happy Halloween, guys. And if you're going to drive Uber. And you got my number. So if you're around the Bay Area, let me know. Three things. You know them, you love them, you got to have them. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we always say here on this show, Go Bucs.